thought they had banished us forever. But now, finally, we have returned.
Streamteam officially makes its return to the world of Star Wars after a long hiatus. I am not watching Book of Boba Fett. I am not watching The Bad Batch. This was just, okay, I gotta see how bad they're gonna screw up. And they screwed up. It's like clockwork. It's amazing. Constantly. They are morons. But anyway, we'll get more into it. First off, Codex.
Yeah, that sums it up.
Yeah.
My face right now sums it up.
Yeah. Let's bring in Wasia.
Yo.
Okay.
So, yeah, in case anybody is wondering, that is me, about to take on the army of Star Wars fanboys who will fight life and limb to defend this show from itself.
Well, the only one stands with you, bro.
Are there really going to be anybody who really defends the show? At least like not the
that will be done.
Like the major.
Let's not skip the bush. There's going to be people who are going to defend this to their life, essentially.
Yeah.
Done. There are people out. Again, I remind you, there are people who think that Tross is better than Arcane. I will remind everybody of that. These people exist. Tross, the film that is universally despised, even among sequel fans, and there are people out there who will defend it with their lives.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, we watched Obi cringe Kenobi. Yes. Yeah. This.
Oh, it's more than just that. Okay. Junk. More than
that. The recap is 4 minutes long.
Yeah,
it's Member Berries done. That's what it is. It's Member Berries.
You know. Okay. EFAB recently released a video going through the first episode, and they pointed out something very interesting that I didn't even think about. Why have this 4-minute recap when you're watching this on the same streaming service that has the movie that recap is from? Like all 3 of them. I'll tell you why. It's because all these dipshits who are recommending Star Wars watching guides suggest, skip over Phantom Menace. Skip over freaking Attack of the Clones, and all that. I'm sorry, but if you want to understand what's going on with Revenge of the Sith, you have to watch those films.
Yeah,
even though they're pretty bad.
I would say, actually, I don't think you need to really watch Phantom Menace. I think you just need to watch Attack of the Clones. They give you enough context in episode 2.
I guess.
I have no idea what those complete idiots think. Let me find it. I know they love Mando Season 2. Didn't necessarily like Mando Season 2. Well, they like Mando Season 1. Didn't necessarily like Season 2 as much. Did not really like Boba Fett. I have no idea what that they think.
Me and my little brother, we sat down and we watched the Book of Boba Fett all the way through the end. So for context, my little brother is like 13 years old. He's just a teenager. He knows who Boba Fett is, though. He hated that show. Like, he really, really fucking hated that show, and I'm going to start, and I'll use swear words just to accentuate that, just to give you an idea as to how much rage we felt. Like, there is literally a scene where some guy calling us of a watermonger goes up to Boba Fett, who's supposed to be the crime lord he works for, and he says, "I'm sorry, sir, but nobody respects you." And Fennec Shand immediately is like, "Okay, we're killing this fool." And Boba Fett's like, "Wait, let him speak."
No.
Like,
Why?
I'm sorry. That exactly. That is the point in the show where you have Boba Fett just sit there on his own and say, "So if I was to put a blaster bolt between your eyes from this chair, do you think they'll respect me then?"
Yeah.
Like,
That sounds
this
better.
is the part where you give Boba Fett a spine, but he's completely he's a spineless old man throughout the entirety of the show, with nothing cool about him. You wonder
no,
why
this is
they
clear,
feel about
yeah,
him to
junk.
begin with.
Yeah.
And they
But answer your question, John, it has a much more funnier chase scene than this one than ever in Book of Boba Fett. Let's be frank.
Oh yeah, it's this.
But we'll get to that.
tiny
We'll get to that, of course.
6-year-old. Yeah, we will. But so the problem with finding it with School of Movies things is they do not do on the day reactions. The only way I can find their like reactions to stuff is if I look through their Twitter, and their Twitter is extremely bare. So
Fair enough. Yeah.
So that's the problem with School of Movies. Like they even said in their Mando season 1 review, like they haven't watched Kenobi yet, and they said we don't know if we'll be revisiting Star Wars for a while since it's not really what we like anymore. And it's like,
Then why review it then?
well, they liked Mandalorian, but they did not like Rise of Skywalker. They were profoundly crushed and disappointed because they loved TLJ and Force Awakens.
Oh, of course they did.
Because
Yeah, they're
oh
idiots.
wow, hold on, they thought they thought the Force Awakens and TLJ were good. Okay,
Oh,
yeah,
yes.
you were right to call them idiots then, because
Yeah.
you have to be in order
You're
to
right,
think
yeah.
those films were good. And you
Yeah,
have to be even more of an idiot to think that they didn't absolutely screw over their own characters that they established, let alone the legacy ones.
Yeah.
So what did they think of
So-
Morbius? I have no idea. Their review is behind a paywall.
Of
Oh,
course it would
that's
be.
lovely.
Yeah.
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 I could technically like cheat and like just log in, not do it, and then just pop out before the end of the month when the pay comes in, unless they've changed it.
I
But
guess.
it's just the shut up Morbius. These hashtags are crazy, and ironically, they haven't really talked about Morbius very much. They love Moon Knight. They have this. Oh my gosh, this is hideous. You guys got to see
Oh,
this.
boy.
Look at
Oh
this.
no, what's wrong?
Oh
Look-
god.
Oh.
Look at this.
Oh god.
Oh.
That is hideous.
What? Dunn,
And
why
how-
did you show this to me?
Yeah.
Why does this exist?
And her Sonic,
did they
the
put
original
that
Sonic
up?
design one from Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie was bad.
Hold on. No,
Just-
hold on. You need to stop a little. We're over here. I need to see that their profile. They've got a. So that's that's a black fist clenched. So that's supposed to be like black power, I guess.
Black
There's
Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So black supremacist movement. No
LGBTQ.
surprise.
Yeah.
No, that's not LGBTQ. That's the gay pride flag, and I think that's the transgender flag right
Yeah,
next
it
to
is,
it.
yeah.
And then there's the Fourth
EU?
Reich flag, the
Oh.
flag of the Fourth Reich. Yes,
Oh.
that's what I referred to
yeah.
the EU to denigrate it because screw them, I guess.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't know. I
but
actually don't.
That
I
is
actually don't have a
surprising,
strong
actually.
opinion on. Yeah, I actually don't have a strong opinion on the EU, by the way.
They make money. People will pay like $5 a month in order to watch their extra content.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna put it like this: if you feel the need to put up a bunch of flags, some of which don't even relate to you,
They have 152 patrons and they make $1,000 a month.
Wow.
Kidding? Just $1,000 a month? Oh my god! If I ever get myself a job, I'll probably be making way more than that.
Yeah.
God
Well,
willing.
That's apart from their own jobs.
Oh well,
Oh.
yeah. But I guess that's just icing on the cake then, eh?
Yeah. Either way,
Yeah.
back to the
No
topic.
Ukraine flag. Russian butts.
Very true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
You know what?
Can I say
they
something
should-
about this scene actually, very quick?
Yeah.
How the hell do none of them hear what's going on in the temple right now? How?
Yeah, you would have
Yeah.
thought that. You would have thought that the literal extermination of the Jedi Order by the 501st Legion would create a lot more noise.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
And why are you getting close
Also-
to her? You're a blaster. That's the point. You have a blaster. Oh, Christ.
Yeah, they just start shooting, and there's so few stormtroopers too. They would have sent in like a full
I'm
squad.
a clone by this point, but yeah, but I get your point.
Yeah.
And also,
Oh.
I'm going to say this right now. I am very pissed off by the lack of weapon variety in Star Wars, at least depicted in the live-action films. Because if you played any of the video games, you know that the 501st Legion have access to things like shotguns, chain guns, rocket launchers, sniper rifles, all
Mhm.
this cool shit. And we never see it used. We never see any of the specialists in any property, and it irks me.
God, remember the 2003 Clone Wars series? That had more variety than this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
And,
animated, and it was for 3 minutes. 3
Yeah.
bloody
So
minutes.
so
For each
so if
episode.
the stream goes down, please let me know because I'm just using this as kind of a reference.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play the whole thing since I'm not going to be able to because Disney are assholes. That copyrights a bitch. But anyway, we have an Order 6016 member berries,
Again.
and then we have the secondary main character of this TV show.
No, she's the main character.
This guy.
Oh,
yeah.
not him.
No,
Not
him,
that
no.
goofball.
That lady.
Yeah,
Played by
the lady.
Moses Ingram, which is odd. I'm just like, your name is Moses? Why is your name Moses?
That makes
Yeah, that's a
sense.
very
Moses is
good
a dude.
question. Because I
Yeah.
don't even remember. I don't even remember Moses being a quote unquote gender neutral as a name. Because Moses that's a biblical name. Not just a biblical name. It's also in the Torah and in the Quran. As a matter of fact, he's mentioned the most out of any prophets in the Quran. So it's a bit weird that somebody would name their daughter Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes no sense.
I mean, I'm
Anyway.
not going to say that. That's just not worth critiquing or anything. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's a nitpick. essentially.
whatever. That's just your name. Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
that's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, these guys don't. Yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
intimidated. by
it's weird
Inquisitors.
that the animated versions of these characters makes
better.
the designs much better. If that makes any sense,
And
because in
well,
live
Craig,
action
here's
it
the
looks
thing.
silly.
here's the thing: this guy is not the Grand Inquisitor we see in Rebels. He's another jump who gets get. He's a
Yeah,
bait
I was
and
questioning about that
switch.
too. I was like, are they both the same character or different characters entirely? 'Cause
Yeah, I see
it's
the
weird.
Yeah, I recalled that there was discussion that there was actually 2 Grand Inquisitors before the show came out. Like there was the Grand Inquisitor the father and the Grand Inquisitor the son, I guess. And yeah, so the one in Rebels, that was his kid, I guess.
Oh,
Maybe?
that's
I don't
so much of a bait and switch. Screw
I
this
don't
show.
know
Yeah.
what exactly is going on. But yeah.
We're still canon. See, that's his son over there. It just looks like the exact same guy with the exact same name.
Yeah, they're both the Grand Inquisitor. It's like we don't have a name for them except for, Reva. Actually, you know what? It's kind of funny that they refer to her by name.
She's
Like,
the only one that has
yeah.
a name. Everybody else is the
Yeah.
third brother,
Yeah,
seventh
you're right.
sister, or whatever.
Yeah,
I
Like,
just realized
everybody
that now.
refers
You're
to third-
right.
everybody refers to third brother as third brother, and yet when it comes to Reva, they call her by her name instead, and occasionally call her third sister. It's weird when you really think about it.
That's silly though. Rebels Inquisitor was a Jedi guard. Yeah, it's. We
Yeah,
have no idea how this even works.
Yeah.
Back to
It's-
cybernetics. Hate that no one truly dies. At least not important. But yeah, they
Yeah.
made him out of the show for the
Yeah,
plot.
it's
It's a bait and
weird.
switch. They wanted to prop up. They wanted to prop up Reva for reasons.
Well, it's going to be a blatant switch.
I mean-
you know the links anyway. From the links anyway.
Yeah.
I haven't read them, of course, but still.
I might just read them to see how accurate they are.
yeah,
possible.
because like last time there was, because the last 2 times I got a hold of leaks or took a look at leaks. One of them was for Tross, and it was basically down to every single plot beat. The other one was a release schedule for GW, which predicted Squats returning, and well, yeah, they're back. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
Also,
Oh, yeah.
Von Lustre,
Yeah.
Lustre is
My old enemy. You cannot hide from me.
Oh my
What did
god.
I do? I haven't done
Oh.
anything wrong yet.
By the way, this
Nice.
cannot be a different Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
It can't?
It's
How so?
According to the comics, the same Grand Inquisitor that we see in Rebels is the same guy who's been Grand Inquisitor for the entire
They're
Imperial
not even
period.
consistent with their own bloody universe, for fuck's sake.
You see, this is why I do not consider things like the books and the comics to be canon. Anything that is not put on the screen, I do not consider it to be canon because
Yeah.
of this. That exact reason. Because nobody's going to read the
Don't
comics
worry,
anymore.
they're gonna bring him back. They're gonna bring him back. Death doesn't
Of
matter.
course they would. Of course they can.
They rip off the designs of their own Inquisitors, and
Yeah.
they can't really come up with anything new. And yeah,
Oh
like,
yeah.
So apparently,
You know-
Smudcast, what they're doing is somebody's doing a review of Transformers 2 and saying it is criminally underrated.
Oh, nonsense. What nonsense is that?
No. No.
And I saw
somebody
okay,
go over
okay, but
somebody drive over
Hold
to
on.
their house and slap them across the face and tell
Yeah.
them no. Because
Yeah.
Transformers 2 is not underrated. I am surprised that anybody's defending Transformers, those movies at all, because they're not good. They were not good back then. They are not good now. Like the
Well,
first Transformers movie,
yeah.
sure, it was entertaining and all that. It was like really, really, really watchable.
at least it's
But by
memorable.
the time we got up to the second one, and it was just like Decepticon balls, lol.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
These
John
two-
Turturro's ass. John
Yeah.
Turturro's
Oh.
ass for some reason. You
Oh, we also
the
have,
racist bots.
yes, the hoodlum Autobots who can't read.
Yeah.
Nice, really subtle, Michael Bay. Really,
Mhm.
really freaking subtle. And then we got over to the third one where they destroyed Soundwave as a character, and freaking
Oh, I
Optimus
was
Prime,
pissed.
and I was pissed off what they did with Soundwave. I was a big
Yeah,
fan of
yeah.
him, and they turned it.
that was my
They
second
took
favorite.
they took this really cool ass character with this awesome iconic voice, and they just made him into a generic Decepticon.
Decepticons.
Based on that's replica talk.
attack.
I'm sorry. That's replica talk. I'm
Listen.
sorry.
Sup, Diggs? Sup, Diggs?
Yo.
Welcome to the chat. Your new face. But yeah, so fighting expert. I don't
So yeah,
know
they needed to get the Grand Inquisitor out of the plot because he was too bothersome to keep in it. But they still needed
No, he
the
was
rebels.
competent. He was
So they
competent in
just
his
stabbed him
job.
in the stomach.
That's the weird thing. He's competent in his job, telling Robert Not
the
to
one
not to
thing.
loot her shit, essentially.
Sure, I'm gonna troll you about you liking the prequels, but I may bring you on. Like the fight scene sucks. The fight scene is terrible. Yeah.
Which ones?
Yeah.
It's all of them,
the-
really.
Well, we'll get to it. We'll get to it. We have so I will troll you about you liking the prequels, since I think that you have like I understand you are the fighting expert, but I just think that your arguments for the prequels are really bad. Like most of the people who I've seen defend the prequels. Anyway, let's keep going. So we have a stupid scene where they just randomly show up to this town on Tatooine where a Jedi is, and they just
By
bait
complete
him
coincidence.
Yeah.
and they just decide to bait him out by just trying to kill a random person.
See,
Man.
there's a much easier way to do this. He introduced himself. Hello, you know
Oh
who we
my
are. You know
God,
what we do.
no,
And
stop,
then
don't
he
do
just
anything.
says,
Wait.
a million credits if you can give us
So
information
that-
about this Jedi.
Hold on.
So is the
That
fight
that
good or
screen
bad?
cap. Oh, that screen cap we
Oh.
have right now. Look at that.
Wow.
Look at how goofy that shit looks.
Yeah, I know. It's
I'm
just
sorry, I cannot take him seriously.
no. Oh Christ! It looks bad.
Yeah,
So-
so bad. It's actually the show ridiculous.
I am so sorry for that actor, but holy crap, they did a horrible job.
Again,
And-
3D animation looks better than this. I don't know how you did it.
God.
Yeah.
They made Rebels, which was an ugly ass show when it was airing, look
Yeah.
better than the live action. That is an accomplishment. That's an achievement. I hate
Yeah,
it.
I know.
Funny
Rebels
thing
because
is,
the way it
Rebels is more in line with the live action design of this species from Revenge of the Sith.
Oh yeah, that too.
Which is
That
weird.
too.
That is very weird.
Did CW
Yeah.
buy?
Good
I
question.
don't know. I doubt it, because CW is basically the asylum. Like
Yeah.
CW is the new asylum. It's like a slightly less. Like, why is she stopping him from killing? Why is he stopping her from killing him? And he stops her with a lightsaber. Stops her with the force, and he runs away. And
Why
that
is she
stops
trying
him.
to kill him? They're trying to
Oh, no.
interrogate him. That's the whole point.
Why is this character being touted as one of the freaking villains? That is so frustrating.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, it's really weird that she tries to kill him, but they're trying to capture him.
And then
So
the Grand
why
Inquisitor
bring her
stops
along
her and lets him escape
Yeah.
for some fucking reason.
yeah, this guy's an idiot.
Fixation on Kenobi. How does that even correlate? Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on. I actually want to strike at this already because this has already been itching in the back of my head. So, you know why we put a flashback into a story? It's there to provide context for something that you're going to see later on. So we got a flashback at the beginning of the story of her and the whole entire Order 66 thing and how she's a survivor. She was a youngling when that happened. She witnessed the clones murdering a Jedi in front of her. Okay. And then we cut over to here, and apparently she has a fixation on Kenobi and wants to capture him so that she can become Grand Inquisitor. Because how does that opening scene connect with this? How does
Yeah.
anything
Very good
about
question.
that scene inform her character going forward? There is nothing. It's hollow. It was just an opening action sequence to excite the audience. And it gave us
Really
live
terrible
action.
shaky cam.
Action for the sake of action.
It gave us live action clone trooper armor, which I very much appreciate. I love that exists now, but Yeah.
Since they bragged about having not made any piece of clone or slash stormtrooper armor for Revenge of the Sith in their behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So
This is really not a show to brag about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like in the Revenge of the Sith. I mean, they didn't build a single piece of stormtrooper armor. Or
Oh,
stormtrooper
okay,
armor.
fair enough.
Everything in
Yeah, that is.
yeah. So whole lot of. I think we can skip a majority of this. Like we
I mean,
see,
even
like
still-
Obi-Wan's daily grind.
Like Obi-Wan's daily routine is fine, really.
Yeah,
yeah, it's fine.
Yeah,
There's nothing
it is-
really to
necessarily wrong with
Just-
it.
I actually kind of liked his banter with the Jawa.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I think
this is-
I'll give him that. I'll give this thing this. Ewan McGregor's acting is not that bad, all things considered.
Yeah, he's a consummate
Yeah.
professional.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that like this
And
fits
Artist Tree,
right
on the other hand, is a
here.
different story. But sorry, go on.
Well, I think like his daily grind's fine. He's trying to keep low. He can't really do anything, but I think that he could hit the guy. Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he just doesn't want to draw attention, which is fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's
this
fine.
is the-
Yeah, nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
This is the best part in the show, and this is as good as it's ever going to get.
Yeah,
And
I'm
that's-
just
That's
amazed.
a tragedy.
I'm amazed that this like animal hasn't rotted and this meat is okay.
Yeah, but when is that anyway?
It's
It's
some kind
some
of
sort of like
giant.
some sort
It's
of
like a dragon or something. But it can't be a.
or
yeah, it kind of looks like a
leviathan.
dragon,
Yeah, it looks
Yeah,
like
but it
a
can't be one of the. What
leviathan.
are they called?
or like some sort
Yeah.
of flying stingray.
Or
Yeah.
sand snake or something.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not really explained. They don't bother explaining it because they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care
Yeah.
about the world or any
Well,
of that
I
shit.
don't think it needs to be explained really.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
maybe.
just like a weird sci-fi animal.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
get a little bit where he's buying a little toy for Luke. He has some nightmares where you see clips of the prequels. It's fine.
By the way, can I point out
I
that
do.
the recap intro for this show is edited like a really basic tribute music video that you can find
Oh.
on YouTube.
oh,
right back.
ouch.
Oh well, that's pretty sad.
Yeah,
You'd expect
seen a
more
lot-
from a
I've seen a lot of
multi-billion-dollar
those.
company.
yeah.
I've seen a lot of those. It's like you have clips arranged to I don't know music from Hans Zimmer or Two Steps from Hell or something.
Yeah,
It feels just
Yeah.
like that.
yeah. I
Except, Two Steps from Hell is actually pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
there's no way to filter on this thing. Okay.
Even actually, now that it just came up, a lot of a lot of scenes from my book is actually inspired by songs from Two Steps from Hell. So
Oh, nice.
big inspiration for my story. A lot of it was just music, really.
Let me see something. If okay, that's nice. Okay, I like that. That's good. Okay. Just need to find a transparent thing. But yeah, we see the little scene with Luke. It's fine. I don't have anything to say about this bit.
It's like this is like the only good part of the show in that there's nothing really all too stupid about it.
Yeah, there's nothing offensive.
Like I actually like the little scene with the Jawa where they're all kind of aware that they're bullshitting each other.
Yeah.
Sure. Aspiring writer. The okay, let me see.
Hold on, Sparring, why aren't you on here today?
Oh.
Oh.
I think he wasn't in the original. I think he wasn't in the original like group. I probably need to. Let's see. 1 second. I think it was just a first come first serve thing, and he was just last. He just wasn't last because
Mm.
I got so many people asking to be on, so it was like.
Well, yeah, this is a
It's like,
this is
you,
a big deal.
go for it. Yeah, it's a big deal because it's kind of the merging of the prequels and the originals, where you get the prequel characters early and prequel era actors in a show that's like at the midpoint between New Hope being these two things.
Yeah.
Oh. Anyway, let me bring in Aspire.
You're going to burn in a very special level of hell. A level they reserve for child molesters and people who talk at the theater.
Firefly's a good show. Go watch it.
Yeah.
Also, to
Yeah,
answer
you
your
go.
question, Whiskey, the reason I wasn't on is because I thought you guys did this last week. I had no idea.
We
Yeah.
know
We watched the first 2 episodes last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this not the
Have
first
you-
episode?
Yeah.
Oh, we're
No,
looking at the
just
first
gonna
episode
run
right
over it again.
Yeah, we didn't. Yeah, we didn't do a stream since I didn't want to keep everybody for 4 hours. So I decided the best option is.
I mean, how long are we gonna be doing this?
I don't know. I think that we'll keep it to since thankfully it was 1 episode and the episode was 44 minutes long on recording. This is probably going to be like 2 hours since we're probably going to skip over a large quantity of episode 1. We already are halfway through.
Yeah.
But then we have this scene where he meets with the Jedi who ran away.
How did he find Obi-Wan? First off.
Yeah, how did he? And just also this just says Obi-Wan is just
a
why
nihilist.
not just get him out? Just figure out a way to get him out of there.
Yeah.
Or just
By the way, if this guy can just sense Obi-Wan because he's in the general vicinity of him, then there's no reason why the Inquisitors shouldn't be able to.
Oh yeah, there's that too. Like,
yeah.
because how did this random dude find him, but the Inquisitors didn't?
There's 2 problems
Yeah.
with this. If he could find him, why only now? And if he can find him, why can't the Inquisitors? Which you can somewhat because either Obi-Wan should be hiding himself from both of them, or both should be able to sense him.
Yeah.
there's also
Even if the dark side of
beyond
light,
that,
they would still
just-
sense him essentially.
I hate the idea. I also kind of don't like the notion that he's they've kind of made Obi-Wan a combination of Old Man Luke and Mando in this show.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's
Okay, I can see the
definitely
old
just-
man look part.
well, I mean in terms of the Mandalorian, in terms of protecting the kid.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a similar plot line. It's like the Old Man Logan format that they're copying again.
Now, to be
I mean,
fair,
yeah.
that does make sense in this context, but yeah, what they do with his character in the next 2 episodes, just oh god,
I don't
know.
I don't think what we see in the first episode fits all that well either. Have you guys seen Rebels?
Yes.
Yes.
I've only
yes,
seen
I have.
clips of it.
And I think I know what you're talking about.
Obi-Wan does show up in that, and it's actually done a lot
Yeah.
better. He's protecting Luke, but he's not exactly dismissive. He talks with the people and is like, I have a mission here. I can't tell you what it is, but I have a purpose here, and you must do your own thing. He's not like, the Jedi are dead, go away.
Yeah. and
Yeah, he's
it's-
like, okay, I have a job.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I
but
agree with
I'm
that,
gonna
yeah,
help
fair
you
enough.
if you need it.
yeah, he should be
Yeah.
like he should be like
Steven Stanton's Obi-Wan in that one episode is actually a pretty good combination of Obi-Wan from Revenge of the Sith and from A New Hope.
yeah.
I haven't actually seen that episode, but
It's actually good.
that's because
That's actually pretty good.
I skipped over. Yeah, I skipped over Rebels as a whole because A, animation was shit, and B,
Fair enough.
I just tonally speaking, the thing was horrible. As a matter of fact, I remember watching Cosmonaut Variety Hour's video on it back when he had a brain.
Oh god, don't. I know. I know
That-
exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
I've seen
Again,
the clip.
Yeah.
But Rebels has its flaws, but it ends up doing a lot of things much better than anything nowadays, like that Obi-Wan
Yeah.
did.
Which is sad.
You know what? You're absolutely right. Sparring, you're right.
Or even the Vader scenes, like
Oh,
the Vader scenes in Rebels are pretty cool.
I'm not
He is not
afraid of
ruined.
you.
Vader
I'm not
was one of
afraid
those.
of you. That you will die braver than most.
Oh, speaking of which, I actually have that clip.
Then you will die braver than most.
Yeah.
And then he just
Iconic.
fucks up Ezra and is like, maybe I was mistaken. Like, Vader was one of the characters in the early part of this where I'm like, he doesn't seem to ever be ruined in any appearance. They actually
Yeah.
managed to
The
not
thing
fuck with
about
him.
Vader is that he's a difficult character to get wrong once you've seen him a couple of times. He's kind of
Well, maybe this one
unmistakable
is.
in terms of his
Yeah.
personality.
Maybe into
Well,
this is
Actually, his prequel video actually is kind of a mixed bag of good and bad, surprisingly enough, when you go through it. There's some bad critiques in there. But some it's actually fine.
Even a
Cosmonaut's
broken
whole
clock
thing is
strikes.
Cosmonaut's whole problem
even
is
a
just
broken-
inconsistent.
Go one at a time.
Oh
please.
yeah.
You can go with
Inspiring.
Okay. Even a broken clock strikes true twice a day.
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
And what I was saying is Cosmonaut's whole problem is really that he's stupid, and more is just he has an inconsistent standard and will not hold to them even in two fucking statements. He contradicts
Yeah.
himself a lot.
Yeah, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
At least I have. It's absolutely awful. Yeah, which one? Cosmonaut's video? Ivucast actually went through it, and they actually said that Anomaly's rebuttal to and backed it up pretty well over 5 streams. That Anomaly Inc.'s response to Cosmonaut is actually worse than the original video that he's responding to.
It's kind of funny because Anomaly made a response to Nostalgia Critic as well about Revenge of the Sith.
Really?
And this is Nostalgia Critic we're talking about. He should not be that difficult to refute. Anomaly can't even do that.
Yeah, and it's not even and it's not even Nostalgia Critic. It's just Doug off just doing an off the cuff review for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Damn. That's pretty sad.
Yeah.
And just Kenobi leaves, and then we get Leia.
And-
Okay,
Oh,
so
Technically-
I have
Is this the
something
first
to
scene
say
we get of
about
her?
this.
Yeah,
I have something to say about this.
Okay.
The implication in A New Hope is that
That screenshot,
Leia.
though.
So Luke.
Oh god,
you guys
that
let me finish
facial
talking
expression.
here?
I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but Jesus Christ, that screenshot.
Oh yeah, I got
Anyway,
it.
I have
That is
something to
my
say.
exact
Uh,
feelings
Okay,
on
I do
the-
apologize, but still,
on
go
the
on.
show.
My apologies.
Yeah.
I do have something to say about Leia's inclusion in this show. So the implication in A New Hope is that Luke knows Ben slightly, and Leia doesn't know him at all. She only knows him from stories told by Bale. Keep this in mind as we go through.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
First
absolutely.
episode, by the second episode, when Kenobi's rescuing her, we've already retconned episode 4. It's done.
If she finds out his name is Obi-Wan, then it will be retconned. I think that
Well, if she finds
No, she
out his
does
name is
know.
Kenobi,
yeah, which she should have honestly.
No, she does. No, she does know. We just saw it just a few minutes ago when she's in the tunnel. When he was just chatting with the girl, the lady, what was it? I forget her name.
I
We'll
think
get-
she
again, we'll
does-
get to that.
Paula?
I think
Yeah,
she
Paula,
says it
yeah.
out of.
Yeah,
I
I
think
remember
she
that
says-
because I have a cut.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead. It doesn't really
Uh,
matter.
I was thinking that here's my thought. She doesn't know that he's Ben. She doesn't know that Ben is Obi-Wan. She just knows Ben is Ben. So if she finds out that Ben is Obi-Wan, then it's retconning New Hope. Until then, though, technically it hasn't done that. it does it with other things, not with this. And we'll get
Give
to
it time,
that.
Dunn. Give it time.
They already
give
have.
it time.
They have.
Yeah.
I am not watching Bad Batch. I am not watching Bad Batch ever.
Not me either.
No,
I
I'm
still
only
want
watching
to,
this because
and one episode's enough.
I'm only watching this because, well, one, I want to see how badly they screw up Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm interested to see how they screw up utilizing Vader. And I must admit, I'm a bit of a Vader fanboy. Like, I'm a little bit of a sucker. I'm a sucker for Vader.
He is incredibly intimidating when done right, in a way that just makes you happy. And I've seen bits of Bad Batch, and there's a lot of stupid, and they fucking ruined Cad Bane, the best thing from the Clone Wars, so fuck them to hell.
I mean,
Yeah, it's also done by
I think the credit for that goes to Book of Boba.
Oh,
Yeah,
the Book of Boba Fett definitely ruined him much more, but they did it right before Book of Boba Fett. They made him an idiot.
Fair enough.
Vader lets Obi-Wan escape in Episode 3. Yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So we get this whole thing with Leia talking with her little droid friend. It's fun.
By the way, she was kind of dismissive of C-3PO in A New Hope. So,
yeah, I think so. Yeah,
it's a little strange that she's so friendly with this droid.
Well, that's the thing about this current era. They are retconning a lot of the characters who are good people to be sympathetic to droids, which are being coded as slaves. Like, you remember Solo?
Yes.
No.
You see, here's the thing. Here's the disgusting thing about Star Wars right now is the way that's handling the droids. Because I watched a video the other day about how the battle droids deserved better by Solar Sands, and holy fuck, the battle droids were sentient the whole bloody time. These droids have personality, feelings, and emotions that a mindless murder machine should not be experiencing. And this was done by Dave Filoni, who was picked up by Disney Star Wars. And they just seem to start going whole hog into this shit. And I'm thinking, stop. No, don't do this. These are robots. They're not supposed to be freaking AI and all that other shit. We don't need to be constantly memory wiping them to prevent them from developing personalities and sentience. They just should not be able to do that at all. And Solo trying to implicate that's a thing completely destroys the setting.
Yep.
So, like, pre-2014, the sentience of mechanical constructs or droids in the Star Wars universe has always been sort of nebulous. So you don't really have a definitive answer on whether or not droids are sentient or if it's just like learning programming.
And the frustrating...
But now it's like, okay, they're definitely coded as sentient now.
And it's like, why? They are just appliances that walk.
That's how everyone treats them. That's what they should be. You have the ability to make them all that. The personality thing should just be a quirk.
Yeah, like you can use it. You can probably use it as like a characterization thing. Like, some people care more about droids and see them as people to a greater extent.
Well, you can have sentimental value be put onto the droids because of and it helps with the personality.
Yeah,
but perfectly fine.
This sort of like definitive, yes, droids are basically people made of metal. It really screws up a lot of things.
Like, remember, some of these droids are meant to, like, their main function is partially to, like, socialize and be friendly with people, like C-3PO, a relations droid. So having them have a personality would help them in their purpose.
85, yeah. 85 volts, yeah. It's kind of the funny thing is now it's only the original trilogy that's good so far. The prequels are
Just
bad.
at least in terms like visual live action media.
And if it's visual live action, and if we include the DCU, the Disney like
DC
EU
extended universe.
Yeah, no. And if we include the Disney, the DEU, or even the old EU, we're going down to like 5% of Star Wars content is good. At this
I don't
point.
know. I haven't
like
read anything
10%.
close to the old EU, but I have a feeling it's a bit more than 5% that's good.
Okay, maybe let's go. Okay, well, maybe maybe actually the 85% of all Star Wars content is bad is probably accurate.
Probably.
Yeah.
But to answer your question,
I
Spotty,
would-
you
I would hazard to
basically have
say
the
that-
Rick and Morty scene where, what is my purpose? Pass butter. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You're saying?
Ouch.
You're saying?
Oh no, we can move on.
Yeah. So we just have a thing with Leia, and Leia's. It's weird with these. She kind of improves in episode 3, but for the first thing, she's kind of just annoying kid character trope.
I was gonna wait until the second scene because that's what happens. But I legit went to my server and said they managed to make Leia a cunt in the one episode. Congratulations.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this bit.
Oh man, that is
Oh,
so
yeah.
fucking stupid.
Oh
This
shit! I'm just
bit.
reading that right now.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm looking at this and just.
Why does the fifth brother look like that?
We got Lemon here already.
Yeah, by the way, you probably mentioned it, but the fifth brother and Grand Inquisitor look shit in this show.
They look
Yeah,
really
they're-
bad, yeah.
They picked the
As the
legit
kids
worst
would like to
actors
say,
for
they
them.
have. Yeah, as the kids like to say, they have very goofy designs.
It's not even just
Yeah.
that. Like the actors they picked are like they have very pudgy, fat faces. Like there's a lot of fat under cheeks and round heads. While their models in like the Rebels show, they're very oval and gaunt.
Yeah,
It's
they look scary.
Yeah, he
It
looks
is
like
legit-
The fifth brother looks like a shark.
Yeah,
they
he kind of does.
like.
Yeah,
the-
he does.
It's just really weird.
Yeah.
It's just like, why'd you
Yeah,
pick
I know.
these guys?
Also, like, just this whole scene in the marketplace, especially like when she's revealed to have mind reading powers in the second episode.
Oh, yeah,
Also,
Kylo Ren.
Yeah, that
Oh,
makes no
yeah.
sense.
by the way, she should technically outrank the fifth brother by just
Yeah, so
Rebels.
this is what the fifth brother looks like in Rebels.
Okay, put it up on screen.
Yeah.
He's also a lot bigger in that show.
Yes,
Yeah.
He looks.
he's actually kind of terrifying.
Yeah, that looks.
Yeah.
He looks like a human shark.
All of the Inquisitors in the Rebel show have really good models, and then this show, including the new one, just look really lame. And based off the Rebel show, just like, do you guys remember that one little dialogue bit where the fifth and seventh sister are kind of antagonistic, and they reference their names as if it's like a rank? She's third, and
Yeah.
he's fifth, so she does outrank him, and yet they don't really have a dichotomy like that.
Yeah,
Only
so
the Grand
it's very
Inquisitor.
Yeah.
it's very strongly implied throughout that the Inquisitors have an internal rank system. Like the Grand Inquisitor is at the top, and then you have the brother and sister, and they go in numerical order.
Oh
or
god,
something.
it's the anime trope.
But they're never consistent with it.
It's the anime trope of
Which trope?
you see this number on me? You see number on me. That means that I am higher rank than this other guy. I am scarier than the previous guy you just fought because of this arbitrary number that was assigned to me. It was like a thing done with the demons and Demon Slayer and the Espada from Bleach.
It's also done with the Big
Like-
Five
Oof.
in Yu-Gi-Oh. It's also done. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big Five in Yu-Gi-Oh. Anybody?
I
Yep.
haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
You don't need to. It's Yu-Gi-Oh's dumb, but I love it. It's
You know, at least
Yeah.
in Bleach,
Although
they
I'll-
subverted this with the secret zero rank.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Yami, go fuck yourself. I don't care if you're secretly the number one top bestest one. No, screw off. You're a piece of shit, and you're a doofus who got jumped by 2 freaking captains. Like, freaking Bakuya and Kenpachi looked at him and was like, he's not a threat. Just slap him away so that we can fight each other instead. Like, that's how much of a freaking doofus.
Yeah.
But yeah, for some
It is.
reason, Reva starts a weird fight with Owen and threatens him and his entire
To
family
be fair, I'll give him this.
to
He's an
get
absolute shad.
information.
Yeah, he's like doing
Yeah.
a good job of
I'll give him that.
but then she doesn't try to read his mind. If she read his mind, she would know that Kenobi's like 5 feet away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't
Oh
she
my
sense them is
God.
another thing.
I'll
Like
Okay,
if
I'm
the
gonna
Jedi
admit-
from the night before could.
gonna admit I haven't seen 2 and 3, so I'm like, what do you mean by read their minds?
Oh, you're.
So she
Oh.
has mind-reading
Red
powers
trick
in
You
on-
episode
remember
2.
much.
Do you remember how Kylo Ren tries to rip information out of Poe's brain?
Yeah.
She does that
Yeah.
in episode
Can do
2
that
to
too.
a guy to a random guy who knows where Kenobi is.
And
Oh, not just a random guy. The random guy. The one guy in the entire city
Oh.
who knows where Kenobi is going, and she just so
Yep.
and he just so happens to intercept her to hold off,
Oh,
so that way buy time for Kenobi to escape. But instead, what happens is that he gave away his location to her because she mind
another
read
thing-
him
should we say one other
So-
thing as well?
like an
She knows who Darth Vader is.
idiot.
Yeah, we're about to get there. Okay,
So-
let's just
yeah.
keep going
Another
through
thing.
it.
she does the least efficient strategy here, huh?
Yeah,
By yelling in their
It's
faces,
so
yes,
dumb.
absolutely.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
She yelled in their faces. She cut off the hand of one of these random citizens who didn't even really do anything aside speaking up. So she basically just got the entire town to hate her and the Empire. Extremely counterproductive measures. It almost makes you
I'm-
wonder why the hell is she even allowed to work with the Inquisitors in the first place.
It makes
Yeah,
you
I
wonder
was
why
about
she's
to say
high
that,
up.
yeah.
She is
Yeah.
she is almost second to the Grand Inquisitor.
Well,
Do we know
that's
who
the
the
funny
second
thing,
Inquisitor
because the Grand Inquisitor says in the second episode that she is the least of them, which implies that she's low rank. But
Yeah.
That's not
And
what
yet-
her rank implies, because those were ranks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, where's the other Inquisitors?
I don't
Yeah,
know.
Also, why are there 3? Actually, wait,
Inquis-
why the fuck are there 3 in
what I
one
just said.
goddamn place? Have they specifically
That
said they're
too.
looking for Obi-Wan or just a
No.
Jedi here?
they're
just
just
looking
looking
for
for
one
random
guy.
Jedi.
There should
Okay,
be
that's
like
actually that is retarded. There was always only one
Yeah.
Inquisitor. Having 2 in the same place came from the persons who killed the Grand Inquisitor. They don't concentrate in one place.
yes. What should be
I mean,
going on
the
over
whole,
here
the whole
is that we
point
should
of
have,
the Inquisitor. You start with you.
what we should be having over here is one Inquisitor, a squadron of Purge troopers, which are veteran clone troopers who executed Order 66 successfully, and they're looking around, and we have these shadowy, terrifying clones with red visors looking and searching the place as the Inquisitor hunts around and interrogates a few people, and then then the Purge trooper shouts and he like finds the Jedi, and the Jedi reveals himself, and they are chasing him away, and the clones are like doing their thing, shooting him and providing cover support to support fire for the Inquisitor as he takes or she takes him on.
Yeah,
That would've been
The
way
whole
better.
point about the
elite-
Inquisitors is that they're low-level Force users that can never be a threat to Vader or Palpatine, but can still do their job hunting
Oh, Darth
Jedi,
Vader.
and this is why they tend to have backup from stormtroopers.
They're elite
Yeah.
units, and there are very few of them, so they need to spread out as much as possible and only concentrate when there's like when Vader wants them, or there's a specific threat that they know about for certainty. But it's really rare and hard. And in Rebels, it was like 2 Inquisitors for 2 Jedi, and they never sent more.
Yeah.
Yeah, like initially it was just 1 Inquisitor for 2 Jedi, but when the Grand Inquisitor was killed, they said, okay, we're gonna up the scale a little bit.
Yeah, after Vader proceeded to whoop their ass.
Yeah. Then we get this scene, get a little bit of a conflict between the 5th brother and Reva.
Which doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
And it just seems as though like they're just trying to make her seem like the underdog. Which,
by the way, the 5th brother did not have this weird whisper in Rebels.
Yeah, he was he was loud and aggressive like a shark.
Yeah.
He
You
also
know an
had,
easy
like,
way to make her the underdog?
Yeah. Didn't he have like a Hispanic accent? Certainly didn't sound Asian.
Yeah, I mean, he definitely did. He definitely
I
didn't
don't
look
know.
Asian.
I have
By the way, 36.1, this reveals that people know that Leia's adopted. People should not know this.
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Mate, ideally, Bale and Brea would just say, yeah, this is our daughter, because that's much safer for her.
It's really easy to hide it. You just say, oh, my wife is going through whatever births of labor shit. She's going to go on a vacation for 2 years. And boom, you're good.
Yeah, it's like just fake her age or something.
Yeah.
You don't even need to
Fake-
fake her age.
She's fairly fairly like newborn. Like they don't even need to really do that.
Yeah,
much
she was newborn when she got to Alderaan at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, they could easily create some new birth certificates and documents for her because her parents is the king and queen of Alderaan. They literally run the planet. Like,
yeah.
And
why would they need?
Funnily enough, that kid watches Night's Watch.
Wait, what?
You're joking. Really?
No, I'm not.
That kid over there.
That kid watches Night's Watch. He left a comment on
Shad
Obi-Wan video. Yeah, Shadiversity.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, that kid watches Shadiversity. That kid is. Yeah,
kid, you are the Chad of this show. I'm so sorry for what
say
happens
that, yeah.
to you in 5 seconds.
By the way, Bale was not a king; he was a viceroy.
Oh,
he runs the
royalty,
planet.
whatever. Doesn't
Well,
matter.
he's a high position, essentially.
He's
in a high
a
position.
senator. He's
basically second fiddle to the king, at the very least.
So
he's aristocrat. That's basically how it goes.
So cool thing. So take a look.
Wow. What a Chad.
Yeah.
God damn.
Damn. That is kind of cool for this kid.
Yeah. That's like
because so speaking of the cousin,
Okay.
I was gonna bring this up because this is where I think like Leia's a cunt, dear lord. She rips into him so badly for him being rude to her droid. And it's like, holy crap, those are not equal. You just fucked with this. Like, mate, imagine
also,
being this young.
Leia,
being like,
Leia is 10 in this scene. 10-year-olds don't talk like this.
Yeah, and that's kind of what makes it just so unsettling. Imagine being this guy and she's just like ripping into you, like you're just parroting your father because you want him to be proud of you, but you haven't ever accomplished anything and never will. You're worthless. And it's like, holy crap, what the fuck?
You know,
this kid's 13.
Actually, I need to hear that exchange again, at least from the very beginning, so that way I can understand. Let's not
have that on stream. That's a little bit too much for copyright.
Yeah, it's a bit risky.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a little bit risky. Yeah.
Well,
we can like play a little bit. They don't want.
Yeah, just
we can at least like we can play this.
Well, we have subtitles on.
Yeah. Then release the planet.
Uh-huh.
Why is that kid in
Okay.
the background though? The guy with the yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
want anybody to know
So
about
what
you
bothers
because
me the
you're
most
That-
about
those
this
I'm
game is
actually
this
like,
whole
wow.
"you're not one of us, you're not a real Organa." People should not know this.
Yeah, people should
Yeah.
not know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Like if they absolutely cannot keep it a secret because Brea was visibly not pregnant a week before Revenge of the Sith,
No,
it's like you can do something to fake it.
It's like I said,
her
just take a
mother.
2-year leave. 2-year leave.
Yeah. And like kind of the problem, it's just so transparent. They're setting Leia and Reva up as underdogs in these particular scenes to gain sympathy, but the problem is, Aspiring, you say it, not me. What are they both? What's the
Cunts.
yeah, they're both yeah.
Like
I-
Reva is a Gestapo
fine
agent
main
and Leia
characters.
is royalty. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
this
third
is not
sister.
underdog positions.
The third sister comes off as the. She's kind of what I thought Nynaeve was at first, because of how just she has a fucking horrible temper that she cannot ever control. She comes off as a child, except to the extreme. And Leia just comes off as an arrogant cunt, despite being 10.
So
Because,
basically,
like-
Nynaeve and Egwene.
Yeah, but both of them combined, except worse. Egwene is a far nicer person in every facet.
Yeah.
Egwene just has bad moments. She's not a terrible person.
Yeah. I remember you
it's in
hate
reference
Egwene.
to,
and you're-
Yeah, she frustrated
This is
me
a
a
reference.
lot. She is still someone I like. Because, like, oh,
Mm.
you have good moments.
You're scared of him. It just
Your
By
father.
the way, is this supposed to be a manifestation of the Force? That
I
she can
have no
sense this or
idea.
something? Because
Yeah,
that
if
would
that's
be
the
very
case,
strange.
then they contradicted itself as well, because it's not apparent until episode 5, is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then what Space Song said, yeah, this is pretty much how they just write female characters nowadays. You can tell
Yeah.
when there's a female main character because they all act terrible. They are always shitty people because that's what they want females to be and thinks what's good behavior.
There's also the
Egwene's a
problem
good
that-
character. She's just infuriating.
Yeah. There's also the annoying part regarding Moses Ingram's comments about her character that she wants young girls to look up to Reva, which is
No.
Yeah, this is a sci-fi
I'm
Gestapo
sorry, you're-
agent. I'm gonna say it
sorry.
again and again and again.
Just gonna also
Yeah,
take a moment. I'm gonna predict the whole show with Reva. She's gonna turn good because you can't have a
Yeah,
female
she is.
character be a villain.
Absolutely, she's
predict-
gonna turn good.
Absolutely.
Guys, when we can predict your show just based on the fact that it's a main female character, you
And
are
especially-
fucking up.
and especially a
Yeah.
female character who is of a particular race, we can just like, you cannot make this specific group look bad, or else Twitter. Which the weird thing is, they seem to base their analytics off of Twitter response.
It's just, I need to guys.
Or
No,
it's just-
I just think
With the
I
race
just think
thing.
it's funny. I just think it's funny that the company that threw John Boyega and Kelly Marie Tran under the bus multiple times are acting
And
like,
Gina Rano.
oh, look at us, how nice we are.
Also,
Fuck you,
just
I'm
Yeah.
also going to say this on stream.
can't
I'm also going to say this on stream. That thing that Gina Carano posted, when you actually look at the history and how the Holocaust came to happen, yeah, it's correct. Hitler didn't even go after the Jews
absolutely.
first. He went after socialists, who were, by the way, a political party, not a religious group. So the post, while not 100% accurate, is accurate enough.
It's also not that bad. It's like claiming that J.K. Rowling is a Turk because she says that the lived experience of women is different than trans women.
Which is a true statement, by the way.
And
Yeah,
it's just
It's
these
like,
people are
okay,
psycho.
what Gina Carano basically posted on Instagram was, okay, don't dehumanize people because of their political affiliations.
Of who? Yeah.
which
Or their
Yeah.
none of these
beliefs.
people agree with because they want to dehumanize anyone who has a different belief. And
I'm telling you, these people,
Which is weird.
these people would have. I'm telling you, these people
Oh,
who
the
believe this
fucking red
stuff, buy into
bandits.
this crap, they would have been goose stepping alongside the Waffen SS. They would probably
Mhm.
be the SS.
Yeah. SS in 1995. Yeah, that's actually that's accurate. Yeah.
Very accurate.
So
yeah,
let's just kind of skip over the scene with Bale and Leia. It's not pertinent. Then we get the
Oh,
wet
God.
bandits, and the show begins to
Really, this is funny, and then
shoot
rude,
itself.
but it's just in the bad kind of way. Yeah,
Like she doesn't run very fast, but like
She
she's
toddles.
she's 10. How are you?
It's
How do
like,
they keep
this is-
skipping
I
ahead?
how does
watched,
she not have a guard?
I watched a Preston and Red Team reviewing this episode, and Preston pointed out, yeah, she toddles like a small child, much younger than 10.
Yeah.
Guys,
And it's not very fast. These adults should be able to catch her pretty easily.
how?
And there's no need for a chase.
Why doesn't she have a guard? These is.
She
They're
ran
very
away from the
protective of her.
guard. She ran away.
Look,
How
I wanna
bad are your guards? Like, she's 10. 10.
She's 10
You see?
and tiny and doesn't run very fast. There are 10-year-olds that can run very, very fast because they're trained to. This kid, Vivian Lyra, is not one of them. And it
She's
just
also
looks
wearing a dress.
stupid.
She's
Yeah.
wearing a dress, by the way. She couldn't run that
Is
well,
she?
anyways.
No,
She's actually
She's-
not wearing a dress. She's actually
she's
not
not-
wearing a dress.
Does she not have any like
That's not
skirt
dress.
part? I thought that's what her outfit had,
It's,
like a little bit of
No,
skirt.
it's-
no, I think she didn't.
No?
It's like a half skirt and pants.
Hmm.
So like if we look at it, it's not a dress. It's like
Okay.
It's
so let's
Yeah,
be
that
accurate.
is
So it's like
You know,
it's-
what is he wearing?
Yeah,
Well,
we're gonna cut.
funny thing-
Let's comment on
funny
Leia
little
first
thing.
and then him.
Okay, so funny little thing
Yeah,
here.
fair enough. Yeah.
Vivian Lyra Blair, who plays Leia. Leia is supposed to be 10 in the show. She became 10 yesterday.
Damn.
Wow, really?
Oh wow, wow. So
Oh, good to her.
yeah, her behavior, the way that she moves and behaves, yeah, that's what a 10-year-old would
Yeah,
do.
accurate. Yeah.
Because she actually is 10.
No
Looking at it right here, yeah, that dress wouldn't be very restrictive. It's barely anywhere. She'll be able to run. But you
yeah, I
you
suppose
guys
it would.
pointed it out,
Yeah.
and let's go back a bit, done, so we can just get that little look at him.
It's like they literally could just pretend to play with Leia, and then a guard shows up and they shoot him. And then
Don't know what
they
the
just
fuck's that behind
grab
his
Leia
head.
from behind. You don't
That's
need this whole
sleeve
chase
thing.
scene.
Hold on, stop the footage. This little
She
girl
runs
is
into
running in the
him.
middle of the forest. She sees this. Yeah, she doesn't just run into him. She runs up to him, as though
As
she
if they
knows
know
this
each
person.
other.
But
This
she
man,
clearly doesn't.
guys, look at that fucking shirt. You can see him from very far away. What is this man?
he's the wet bandit.
Yeah.
He's
Like,
one of the wet bandits.
Legitimately, when I
Yeah,
saw this
she-
outfit,
Yes, people had to watch the scene during the editing.
yes,
He's just
that,
waiting
this
for
was
her?
edited together and approved.
This whole
I'm
scene
just-
is
You know,
like,
I almost thought.
The way she runs up to him implies that this was like a scheduled meeting, pretty much.
Yes,
I think this is part of
exactly.
it, like,
That's
they
what
just-
I thought when I was
Bringing
first
the
watching
scene
Guys,
it.
pretty
guys,
bad.
guys, that's a twist of the show. This is all Leia's plan. She's trying to work to find
God.
Kenobi.
Oh my god.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope.
You must save me from the Disnoids.
Oh my
God.
Just
Look,
This
look at
outfit-
that.
is, guys, this is. I legit was like.
And
Is this
she
an extra?
evades this chase lasts for a full minute. A full minute.
By the way, Leia is a princess. Does she not know about stranger danger?
Stranger danger.
I feel like
Yeah.
royal kids would be made to say stranger danger every night.
Yeah.
And be like, so
because-
you see a stranger in the hallway, they will have a knife.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a Hawaiian. It's like wearing Hawaiian tee or something.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so dumb. It is so dumb. Like,
Also, the two just materialize behind her.
and like just
Yeah.
how the obstacles are utilized in this episode, in this chasing, are really bad.
You know, Dunn,
Like-
I think we can just skip over this because no
Yeah,
one is defending this
Oh.
shit. Absolutely no one.
Oh,
I watched this.
You
I watched
skipped
this-
over
yeah.
the best part. You're skipping
I
over
know.
the best part of the
Yeah.
chase.
Yeah, that point,
Guys,
see that point, that exact point in that chase scene. That's the point where nobody's gonna defend it anymore. I watched it with people who regularly defend the Star Wars.
Look
and
at how
all this other.
slow they're
uh,
having to move.
Yeah, no,
Look how
nobody's
slow she's
defending
having
that.
to move.
guys, I have an explanation. Look, it was the first update. They haven't finished the patch notes. Some of the CPUs are just a bit bad. They haven't fixed the AI yet.
Yeah, well, what is what I think?
Yeah.
Like,
That's a
look,
very
look at how
appropriate reaction,
look at
yeah.
the speed. Like, she is like the poor girl. She cannot move very fast. And they're like full-grown adults with full range of movement. And she just trips. He just trips. He just trips.
Yeah.
You know what I want to
Just
happen now?
find, just find like a 10-year-old who can run track and say that she gets like self-defense training or something.
Or here's an alternative: have her run up a tree. They establish in the show that she's very good at climbing trees. I'm 100%
Yeah.
certain that someone on EFAB caught that and said that. And I'm like, I'm going to reiterate that because that's an excellent point. You establish she's good at running up, climbing up
That's an
trees.
excellent point.
She
Yeah.
could have done that. Yeah.
It would be your first
That would've been a
instinct,
great-
honestly.
Or is it why
Excellent
does
setup and
Leia
payoff.
not have like why does Leia
Also-
not have a panic button? She's royalty.
Yeah.
But
Uh,
an edit I want to have happen is when the guy is like trying to get to the tree and like hits the branch. I want to edit where he just turns around and is like, must have been the wind.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Leia does not have a panic button. She does not have a tracker. Nothing.
She would have a tracker embedded in her spinal cord or something that they couldn't dig out.
She's
without
a senator's daughter. Yeah.
yeah.
And
Yeah,
yet
Not just
they
a
go
senator's daughter.
a very important senator.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Who are very
an
paranoid.
imperial senator's daughter.
Yeah, and we'll get to that now. Because with
Instead of asking,
Yeah.
hiring a bounty hunter or saying, "Hey, can I get a squad of clone troopers or stormtroopers on this? My daughter has been taken. Please, can we get her back?" They ask Kenobi, and
Yeah.
It's just-
Obi-Wan
why?
Kenobi is by far the worst choice for this job.
You
Shit,
should
they
It
keep
is
on
not
him.
even a contest.
Like, guys, they're putting him at risk just by contacting him. You should never be contacting him for jack shit. You know this.
Especially if
Yeah.
especially if the Empire
Context can
show
be
up one
tracked.
day and especially if the Empire shows up one day and decides to run an investigation on them and discovers that he's been in contact with a freaking Jedi.
also
Yeah,
they will be
transmissions can be tracked. That's the first
Yes.
thing. So why do they even have a line of contact? with
I don't-
them?
I don't know if they will necessarily. This is a weird thought. I just thought of this. What would happen if, like, they launched an inquiry into Leia and found out she's adopted, and just, okay, where is she adopted from? Then, funny thing is, they could even do a midi-chlorian count on her, since
Like,
Yeah.
There wouldn't be a reason to
Yeah.
do that, though.
Well, I think they would probably just do midi-chlorian count, or even like a DNA check, and they would I would say DNA checks are.
They might do
Yeah.
a DNA check, maybe.
No.
But I think that-
Imidichlorian count is actually extremely unintrusive. We saw an operation done like that in episode 1. It was just like a little thing, a little pricked little Annie's finger, and they found out that he has a high midichlorian count just right then and there. So it would probably just be a routine thing that people in this universe do.
Yeah.
They have to actively fake the records of her midichlorian count so she doesn't get taken as an inquisitor.
Yeah.
Oh, I think most likely she would be protected from that anyway.
I
by merit of her
don't
position.
know. Because she is, like, the Empire doesn't give a shit. It's like, you have a very strong Force-sensitive child. We want her.
Yeah.
Here's the funny thing as well. If they wanted the scene to work, essentially, they would have
This
they
is
would
the
have had
problem with
the
having a
organic contact the
biological
Empire and all that.
tracker. Okay. sorry.
Yeah, and they could have easily just made a Jedi, say, just a random Jedi, or the guy in the next episode, the Jedi who kidnapped Leia Organa's daughter and all that, Leia and all that,
Well-
and which made him more sympathetic to their cause exactly, to hunt down the Jedi. So why did he ask Obi-Wan to do this exactly? It's completely mind-boggling.
This is the
Oh, but-
entire problem with having a biological
Tracker for
Not
force
tracker.
sensitivity.
not tracker, designation slash identifier. As soon as you put a biological identifier, that means that you cannot hide as a Jedi. They can just do annual blood. They can just do like blood tests on you,
Well-
and find out. Oh, you have a high midichlorian count, and you're of a specific age. You must
Okay,
be a
well,
Jedi.
I have to
It
go.
specifically means that any new Force sensitives are gonna have a very tough time, because I'm actually doing something very similar in my settings. Like, they can check your DNA to see if you have abilities. And if they can
Yeah.
do that,
Oh.
and they have a system in place, you're fucked. Unless you're in somewhere
yeah.
like Tatooine, where they don't really have those facilities.
Yeah, I need to get off
Yeah.
right about now. Gotta go get some
See you,
lunch
mate.
and eat and all that. Thanks for having me on. It's nice chatting with all of you. I'll just go and give my final verdict on this show. Probably gonna give it like somewhere around a 3 or a 4. Don't watch it.
Let's put it very
Please
high,
don't
man.
watch it. Huh?
Show's not even
That's-
done.
I'm like, yeah, we're halfway through, and I'm unimpressed by it. Like, I only like the visuals. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't recommend it.
Also, like
All right, see ya.
they could just, and also just the
So, yeah.
fact that they don't define Palpatine as midichlorians define Palpatine as
Yeah, it's really stupid.
Yeah, it's why
Hmm.
prequels bad movies. George, like, it's not a matter of George ruined the Force. Is that George Lucas crippled himself massively when he made the midichlorians.
Yeah,
Like,
there are
it
many
was-
things in the prequels that completely break the plot.
Yeah, it's like midichlorians were a stupid decision, not because it ruined the mysticism of the Force. It's like, no, this introduces logistical problems to the story that you cannot account for anymore. That you cannot account for, and it introduces huge problems. This is why George
Honestly.
Lucas is not a good storyteller.
Honestly, I think you could account for it easily. Like, what you have from just a OT trilogy, you can make it work in the prequels. You can.
It's like you could maybe say something like, okay, this is like very specific technology that only the Jedi have, and it's difficult to make, or something. But
Not even that.
that clarification isn't really made.
Hmm.
Well, the funny thing is, he just puts it in a tracker thing, and then sends the info back to Obi-Wan. I guess like he just took a photo. It's just the data he's transferring, but it's just
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, like, even like Palpatine knows about midichlorians and
Absolutely.
and just mentions it casually as to Anakin, he's not like, you know what a midichlorians are? So I think like people like midichlorians, it's a known thing, but it's just I just don't buy that. Like once they know that there's somebody in control of the Senate who's a Sith Lord, they would be like, okay, let's routine blood test. No, nothing too bad. If anybody doesn't do it, they are automatically subject to suspicion. And when the Chancellor himself doesn't do it, or his results are odd, they'll know that it's Palpatine that's the Sith Lord. So it's so obvious.
Well, I still think you could have it explained that he gets it faked. That he has the connections to have them all faked. It's not too outside the realm of possibility. And it could help hide it, which is why I'm like, I don't think it's completely broken. It's just, it's never explained or done ever.
Yeah. And like, well, I mean, like, if a Jedi just takes his blood and just walks off, he can't fake it.
True.
Yeah.
Like there are, if they think the Sith Lord's in control of the Senate, they'll be like, okay, we need to make sure that
we're not trusting any random hospital with this shit.
No, they would be, yeah.
And the fact that it's handheld, yeah, it does that does have far too many problems with it.
Yes, exactly. Which is why it's just dumb. Okay, let's. Obi-Wan says no.
But it's
But
like,
he sees
if
the Jedi.
if Bale wants to get Leia back, it's like
He
the
doesn't go.
person-
He should not go to
the
the
person
he
who
should
is
not go to
most
Tatooine.
done.
Just
So
they do this.
the person
Why?
who is so he says the reasoning for why he's going to Obi-Wan is because only Obi-Wan knows how significant it is. Obi-Wan is the person who is most at risk of revealing the significance of Leia.
And Luke.
Yeah. Luke as well.
They are the last.
So
hope.
either go to the Empire and say, "Hey, my daughter's kidnapped," because you're a senator. Most likely, any political body would take that seriously. Or B, go to a bounty hunter and say, "Okay, I'm gonna give you this much up front, and I'm gonna give you like an untold amount of credits if you can get my daughter back and I can verify that it's her."
Guys,
That's it. We're done. Like, Boba Fett is an active bounty hunter in this time period.
Guys, I have an admission.
He can get... Yeah, this guy is the Viceroy of Alderaan, and he's an Imperial Senator. Like, he has enough money to probably buy the entire Bounty Hunters Guild.
Yeah.
Well, better yet, get his own army to do it.
You were saying, Aspiring?
I have
sorry.
back very early on. This is before things went super shit. I read the Ahsoka novel, which is canon, and based on that novel, he can contact Ahsoka if he really wants a Jedi. They have that connection
Because she meets him. She becomes
meets
Fulcrum in that book.
She becomes Fulcrum. From what I can tell of Leia's age in that book, she is younger than she is now, meaning he has access to a Jedi who has managed to keep herself hidden fairly well, for the most part. And the fact that she can probably rescue Leia and not reveal herself too much, of the two choices, Ahsoka is much better than Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan has a job that you know about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This.
And also, like, Ahsoka, ironically, probably has more of an ability to blend in.
Yeah,
Because she left the Jedi Order.
She left the Jedi Order.
And she's presumed dead.
So many
Obi-Wan
layers.
It's not like nebulously. Oh, maybe she's dead. It's like she was in a Venator destroyer that crashed on a planet, and they found her lightsaber years later.
Vader doesn't know she's alive until Rebels. It's like that's when it's confirmed to him. And also, but here's the thing: these people don't fucking read books. I doubt they even know it exists. I doubt anyone in that entire
every
company.
single person who writes a story in the Disney canon writes their own story. They don't consult with anyone else. They don't read anyone else's work.
The Ahsoka novel just ain't canon, basically. It is canon, but it's never going to
It
be
is canon,
acknowledged. And
Hello, member Barry number 30.
How did he find it? How did he find this box?
Yeah, I'm just like that. He should just have it in his cave. If he's
Yeah.
got it in a cave, why is he in a cave and not in a house?
I don't know.
Looking for
Property taxes have increased, done. It's
Yeah.
He has a
taxing
house in
real
New
estate.
Hope. He has
Real
a
estate-
house in New
Real
Hope.
estate is hard to come by, done. It took him those 20 years to buy a house.
Speaking of which, he should
By
be
the way-
training us.
By the way, episode
he is
1 and episode 2 both have a 7.7 rating on IMDb.
You're
IMDb
joking.
shit with ratings.
By
Just
an imp?
Yeah.
By an imp?
I'm not questioning your honor, Lord Janus. I'm denying its existence.
That sums up the show. This really does. That really does.
And then Kenobi, after Bail pleads with him personally, and after he sees the dead Jedi, he heads off, and somehow he traces signal. Like the signal of the ship is traceable. He is looking to trace the ship. It's so dumb.
Yeah, apparently you can
And
just trace the ship.
Then
trackers are worthless.
Trackers are also
Yeah.
stupid.
No, I mean like a tracker you put on a ship.
Yeah.
Those are perfectly
By the
fine.
way, I
trackers.
pointed out during our watch through of this episode,
He's wearing a
why
giant
does
attire.
Obi-Wan do
You should know-
absolutely nothing to hide his appearance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Look,
exactly.
Look at this.
Everyone knows what a Jedi looks like. Even if people don't know prior to this point, growing up in this time period, they should know what the Jedi looks like. At least an adult.
You think
It's
this
just-
is because they're still
And-
doing the whole thing of people don't really know much about Jedi? They haven't seen them much, and it's like not to the extent they're making.
And this
It's
is
like,
10 years, mind
I can buy
you
the
don't forget
idea
something like
that
this.
I can
They're war
buy the
criminals.
idea that most people don't really know anything about the Jedi because they never see them like in their sector of life. But
Well, here's
it's
the
like,
thing.
the Jedi are wanted criminals and fugitives.
Yeah.
There
Have
will
you read-
be information
if
about
you're
them
on-
spread all over.
And also,
Have you-
here's the thing: the Empire has access to the entirety of the Jedi archives. They have photos and identification of every single Jedi on record.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, don't show
I've
that
seen
scene.
a
actually.
good fan art of. I'm pretty sure there's a comic book panel or fan art of a
There's a
bunch
scene where
of posters.
the Wanted poster
Yeah,
for
it is.
the bounty
Let me
in this
see.
exactly. Yeah.
But Von Lustra, have you read Wheel of Time?
No.
Mm,
No.
Okay.
I need to.
The reason because what I feel like a good example would be like in Wheel of Time, there is two rivers and the Aes Sedai. The Aes Sedai are basically your fantasy Jedi. They know very little about Aes Sedai outside of myths and stories, but they're still able to recognize an Aes Sedai when they do one of their telltale things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the panel I was talking about. When she does magic, and they can be like, oh shit, she's Aes Sedai. And this lightsaber is pretty much a telltale sign. It's like their serpent ring for the Aes Sedai. The second you see it, you know who the fuck they are.
Mm-hmm.
It's their calling card.
Yeah, I had a feeling that was the panel we were talking about.
So it's like, yeah, they're not going to know their inner workings. They're going to get a lot of things wrong, but they will be able to recognize them. There was a difference between the two.
Like, especially the Empire has information down to like visuals, like identifying visuals. Is like Obi-Wan's name should be plastered over every planet in the galaxy.
Yeah, done. I think the scene. Yeah, there, right there.
Yeah.
So they do have a record.
And then there's other wanted stuff. There's also other like wanted stuff all over the place. But it's, and like since they have the archives probably have photos of pretty much every Jedi on record. All they need to do is just put up.
And granted, some of the photos are probably out of date because it's been 10 years, but not this one. Not
Probably
for Obi-Wan.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They had holo vids of their some of their exploits in the Clone Wars. Some of them might have seen them regardless.
Yeah.
Also, what's his identity?
We also have the bit of apparently. Sorry.
How does Obi-Wan identify himself?
Yeah. So does he have like an alias or something?
Question.
Also,
how did he fake that one?
Also, Obi-Wan is just. Also, another funny thing about it is Obi-Wan's tracing the signal of the shift that the kidnappers were using. How is that possible?
Yeah.
So I think this is just another. This is like another retroactive thing, where Disney is taking their own terrible idea from The Force Awakens, that all ships essentially have their own signature that you can track anywhere.
You should be able to scan for it, not track it.
Now they're retroactively applying it to literally everything.
But it's like, yeah, you can. I can believe they all have a fucking license plate. I don't think you can just track that from anywhere.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah. It's more than stupid, it's retarded.
It's like he's not part of the police now. He cannot just look up the records of that guy, of that ID, and then be like, he's on this planet last seen, let's go. He's a Randy. He can't do shit.
There are so many logistical issues that could make for interesting storytelling to fix, but they just don't care.
I just realized if fucking Organa got a bounty hunter, they probably would have a contact who they could ask, hey, this is a ship ID. Is he fucking here? And they would probably say yes or no. I'm pretty sure that would be a relation they would have.
I could buy that you could track down these kidnappers on the black market. I can buy that.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
This makes me want a bounty hunter show again.
This is what people are talking about when they derogatorily refer to something as fan fiction. There are a bunch of different issues that you need to get through in order to get the payoff you want, and you just skip it to get to the payoff as quickly as possible.
I am like desperate for a good bounty hunter Star Wars thing. I might just write one myself for fun one day, just out of pure spite, because it could be so interesting.
Could be.
John Wick as a Star Wars movie would be cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Make a Cad Bane. Just make it a Cad Bane. Good Cad Bane. Not the shit Cad Bane.
And don't have it in... Don't do Cad Bane action. Cad Bane in live action looks horrible.
Yeah, has to be animated. I'm sorry.
It doesn't
Please do animate.
In live action.
You got a shitty actor. It was the worst thing ever. It actually
it just,
was nightmarish.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't know how you can make Cad Bane work in live action. Like
He needs to fly.
I mean, like, there are live action Duros.
Like
no. You want to go first, then?
Well, they're live action Duros, but they don't look very good. Like
what I'm sorry.
Sorry. No, it's just my connection is being stupid. He goes around and he finds a drug dealer girl. Played. This is a cute little cameo from Ewan McGregor's IRL daughter, which is cute.
Yeah.
I think that's fine. And then he finds out that there's apparently a guy posing as a Jedi using magnets. It's like, you would not do this. That is
Yes,
a
you'll be
dumb
you will
idea.
immediately be
Guys,
interrogated.
I think they're pulling that from Cad Bane, actually, coincidentally, because that's actually part of Cad Bane's origin. Is he found someone using technology to mimic himself being a Jedi, but it wasn't that stupid because it's in an era that Jedi weren't wanted.
Yeah.
So I think that might have been where they got it from. If not, they're just being retarded.
Yeah. I'm actually going to head off, guys. I've got work in the morning.
Fine. Alrighty, cool.
See you, mate.
Alright, see you guys around.
Your connection really is Tismia.
And he just says, like, I'm using a Jedi trick on you. It's just, oh gosh. Not only is he dumb, the people who believe him are freaking dumb too. It's frustrating. I am inside your mind.
I'm like, okay, people are desperate. I'm fine with that.
But yeah, but it's still is. And then like Obi-Wan manages to interrogate him, finds a way to get to Walter White's Technicolor lab.
Yeah, I was really getting Breaking Bad vibes from this.
I just want to rewatch Breaking Bad for the third time after this, just to cleanse my palate. Since Breaking Bad is such a good
I should
show.
probably start Better Call Saul.
Yeah, I have so many good clips from this
What
one.
is wrong with you?
Or
Are you actually this stupid?
I wish he said retarded.
I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? I'm really asking.
But I think this is the best line though.
You are a pathetic junkie. Too stupid to understand and follow simple rudimentary instructions.
This is a very good clip to use for the show.
Brings me joy.
Then he just gets into a fight with a fist fight with a pair of guys. He gets duped.
See, if he wore this drug cook outfit for the entire episode, I could buy that he would be fine himself.
Yeah, but he doesn't. And then he gets laid out.
He ditches it almost immediately, which is very strange to me.
Yeah. Or just any other type of clothing, but we need the iconography. We need the freaking Jedi iconography.
Yeah.
Still more focused on
But here the Grand Inquisitor implies that Reva is like low rank.
How do they mix up? Are they so stupid that they can't do numbers? Numbers, mate. You can't tell that 3 is higher than 5.
I need to get the clip from Midnight Screenings where he says, "Because I know math, unlike this movie," or this.
Okay, so another thing that I should point out. So Reva's plan is to draw out. Oh, can I finish?
Oh yeah, look.
This is like the 5th time I've been interrupted this stream in the middle of talking.
Vaughn, I'm pretty sure his connection's just tisming, so he's doing that by accident.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. So Reva's whole plan is to kidnap Leia in the hopes that Bail will get Kenobi to come after her.
What's her Sorry.
If the knowledge that Obi-Wan and Bail were close is this apparent, why has Vader not gone after it? Like, why has it not been brought to Vader or to the Emperor? Because that would put Bail in some serious hot water.
I just wonder why she thinks those two have any connection.
And how would it be in the Jedi archives? Like, let me actually take a look. Bail Organa. Let me take a look.
It's like, people have been telling me that she found out from information in the Jedi archives. But it's like, when? How?
Why would I even be in the archives?
Like, how would she find out, but not the Grand Inquisitor? It's like, either she is taking a stupid leap in logic, or everyone else is stupid around her.
It's both, probably. Here's the thing. You would probably question Organa just because he was kind of pro-Jedi. Like, he would be under suspicion. They're kind of aware of that from some of the content I've seen, at least in Legends. They're not stupid.
So I am looking at Wikipedia. There is no connection between Obi-Wan and Organa beyond what happens at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
So it's been done fucked.
Yeah, I know that in the old expanded universe, they went on at least one mission together. But, like, as far as the new canon is concerned, their only interactions are at the end of Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah. Well, they were, like in Clone Wars, they had one concurrent mission, and that's it. And they weren't even on the same place when they did the mission.
I think it might be... Are you talking about the invisible ship episode?
Yeah. Bail was on planet while that was happening.
Yeah, I remember that episode. Not one of the bad ones.
Yeah. I think, actually, I don't think that one was... I think that Obi-Wan... I don't think that Jar Jar was... I think maybe... Actually, I think it was a Jar Jar episode, since he has Jar Jar with him.
I don't remember that. Not one I'm thinking.
So... And then we have just him grabbing new clothes, clean gloves. He's being Grand Inquisitor. He's walking around. It's so frustrating.
Can I point out that the cinematography and editing in this show is really flat and boring?
It is really boring, I agree.
Absolutely nothing interesting is done with the camera angles or perspective or anything.
Yeah. We do have a moment.
Also, apparently Obi-Wan is cut off from the Force.
With Leia. Yeah, that's stupid. But not even like cut off from the Force. It's basically implying that the Force is like a mole or something. Which is so annoying. And like he should be like based on the end of Revenge of the Sith training, but they just don't care. Then we get this whole thing where
the funny thing is I've seen people try to excuse that by saying like, oh, I think the implication is that he has been trying to contact Qui-Gon, but it's not working. Well, I was like, show that then. This is a whole story opportunity right there, and you're just throwing it away because blah, 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 whatever, I don't care.
Yeah. But he uses the Force to make Leia float after she's being a little brat to him, and she runs off for no reason.
And somehow no one catches up or shoots either of them.
The reason for it is contrary. Yep. So ridiculously contrived. It's just like, it's clearly there to fill time. You could lift that whole scene out
And nothing would change.
It's so frustrating. And then we get, like, Reva reads this guy's mind.
Yeah.
And
Real
finds out
shame
what
that she
he's
couldn't
going
do that to
after
Owen a
Kenobi
few
Hunter.
weeks earlier.
Yeah, what? Yeah. Would have been
Why
pretty
didn't
dang
she?
useful.
Why don't they all
Pretty
just do
friggin'
this to everyone in the
useful.
village? Tatooine ain't exactly populated. Just go read everyone's minds. What the fuck are they gonna do? Complain? You're the fucking police.
Yeah. And she just rips and coincidentally runs into this guy who's clearly the biggest idiot ever. And yet he runs a successful human smuggling operation. How does this make even the remotest bit of sense?
It doesn't. That's the problem.
Then she comes up and finds the thing where Obi-Wan is at, and they tease a fight that's going to happen, and she says somehow she knows that Anakin Skywalker is Darth Vader.
That was the part that absolutely made me lose my mind. First, that Obi-Wan doesn't know this.
I'm like,
Vader has been going around wrecking shop for 10 years, and somehow he doesn't know that he's still alive. That's number one. Number two, Reva knows, which would imply that a bunch of other Inquisitors know, that Vader is Anakin Skywalker.
Except, here's the thing. Vader normally kills everyone who finds out.
Yeah.
He's like very protective of that identity to an extreme extent. To a psychopathic
I recall
extent.
in like the first Star Wars comic that Marvel released after they got the license back from Disney features a stormtrooper that sees Vader with his helmet off. Vader snaps his neck immediately.
Yeah.
He's very particular about his identity.
Oh, wait, yeah, it is. Oh yeah, it is. It's 30. It's 35 minutes. And it's long, so it's not 28. Yeah, it's just the Con Jedi. No, yeah, it's just or was with him. Yeah, it's just so close. Yeah, I'm trying to think. So much of this is pointless. We don't even need to talk about it. It's so irrelevant to the plot. It's so frustrating.
It's like this should not be a show about Obi-Wan planet hopping, be it with Leia or Bail or anybody else.
No.
Honestly, I feel like a Kenobi show should just be a little mini-series.
Well, that's basically what this is. It's only 6 episodes. But they still feel the need for this stupid blockbuster plot.
There shouldn't be a big questing. It shouldn't be how this is going. It makes no sense.
Yeah. So, I do like the fact that he immediately recognizes Lord Vader is alive, but he actually should already know that Vader is alive.
He really should know.
He did hear Lord Vader as the new name on. Oh, sorry, you were sorry. I cut you off. Sorry. You're
no, it's just your connection being stupid again.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But yeah, he should know that Vader is still alive.
And
Vader has been going around
It is
wrecking
good
shop
that
for
you
10
recognize
years.
Vader.
I think we're about to lose Gunn.
He's like trying to
Good
let
night.
you go, but occasionally he can't tell. He just hears a long pause and he starts talking, and then he has to stop later. And it's faulty connection can be hell.
Yeah. But yeah, this whole scene, and then Reva kills the Grand Inquisitor.
Wait, what?
I mean, do any of us really think that he's dead?
Wait, what?
This.
No.
Yeah,
Back
yeah,
up.
Reva.
She kills the Grand Inquisitor.
He shows up and says,
But he's alive.
Exactly. That's why he literally
exactly. That's why it's stupid.
Do they not even know that rebels exist?
Well, they're gonna bring him back. I guarantee it.
Yeah. Somehow.
Like,
the weird thing is
death has no meaning in Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
Why did you put it?
If you count like recurring scenes, The Rise of Skywalker has over 20 scenes or examples where death is reversed in some way.
Why would you do this? Why?
Yeah.
It is the stupidest possible thing you could do as a writer. He is alive. We know this. You can't just fucking bullshit. Why would you put a kid in a scenario where...
Why would you even pull a fake out death on a character whose ultimate fate we already know?
Why? It's not going to help. Why did you bring him back just for this? Why did you not just make another Inquisitor so you can at least have something? What the fuck?
Or don't make it an injury like this. Like, just have her slash him across the abdomen and he falls over, where it's somewhat plausible that they could heal him and he could just cover it up. That's why we don't see it later.
It's so stupid. It deserves to die.
And because she kills her boss, because he's being a typical white male in the show, Obi-Wan manages to get away.
Yeah, I would have loved if the Grand Inquisitors just took out his lightsabers. Like, he should have gone for the head and killed her.
Yep.
It's like
I would
she
have
gets away.
loved that.
So we know that the Grand Inquisitor is going to survive because he's alive like 5 years later in the timeline. There is no
Perfectly
way
fine.
that Reva is getting out of this unpunished.
Oh man.
Like, what?
It's like she is going to get killed for insubordination. End of story.
Guys, I want to just say that
But
this
the thing is,
show
she lies-
advocates that
she
black
li-
people are violent and murderers and completely stupid.
The funniest
What
thing
the
about this. Oh, sorry. The funniest thing about this is that she gets away scot-free from it. She just claims that Kenobi killed him. In the next episode, yeah. Like, she's completely...
Vader can read minds. Why does she get away?
She talks to Vader and is fine.
Also, by the way, if Vader knows Obi-Wan's alive and everything, he's not gonna let the Inquisitors take him. He's gonna say "fuck off" and go after him himself.
Yeah. Look.
By the way, can I talk about how goofy Vader looks here?
Yeah, I think
It's a
that part of
CGI
it's like
background.
they're fitting. I think that part of it's they're fitting Hayden Christensen in the suit, and his proportions are slightly like his head and proportions are slightly different than
I think it's like
Stephen
I think it's more to do with like his. I think it's more to do with like his throne.
Yeah, it's a
Like
background of throne.
he's sitting on a throne that's way too big. Like it's way too wide for him, and he has to like prop out his hands.
It looks
And
cheap.
it looks like he's trying too hard, which you should never do with Vader.
Yeah.
I don't think Vader would sit.
It probes out, we're tracking all possible exits. He will pay for the Grand Inquisitors. The Grand Inquisitor means nothing.
That's not true. You literally decided to go fuck up the 2 Jedi who killed him. They killed them, and you were like, "Yep, I need to take this personally."
The Grand Inquisitor was so important that Vader summoned his ghost back from the afterlife in the comics.
It's like, mate, like, yeah, you probably don't care about him too much, but it's like, just gotta kill the Grand Inquisitor. I'm gonna fucking smack this guy's ass.
Yeah. And there's the whole thing getting through checkpoints. A little bit of exposition. They go to Azkaban, and which is apparently like the Inquisitor base. Actually,
Wait, this is not the same place from Fallen Order, is it? I feel like that was different.
It looks similar, but I think that place was like completely underwater.
Yeah, I feel like that was a completely underwater facility.
yeah. Oh my goodness. It does look like frickin' Azkaban.
It's surprising.
I mean, Disney Star Wars has absolutely no originality, so...
Then we just get a scene where she and the 5th brother are just doing a dick measuring contest. It's really dumb.
The 7th sister would be more interesting.
Yeah, I agree.
And send a bunch of probe droids.
By the way, wouldn't there be a blockade around Dayu when the Inquisitors showed up?
Yeah.
There was this whole point that they were locking down the ports. Was there no surveillance out in space?
Yeah. And another funny thing, doesn't make any sense. Obi-Wan's just riding around with a group of stormtroopers that have been alerted to a Jedi, and they don't recognize him.
Yeah,
Like
it's really stupid.
It's really dumb. Get the checkpoint scene, which is also dumb, where Obi-Wan is apparently John frickin' Wick and just shoots a bunch of these guys, even though he's
so uncivilized.
Doesn't like blasters.
By the way, why can't you just like walk around this little fence?
Yeah. And instead he just shoots it for whatever reason. Yeah, he tries to make
It's
it
not
work.
like that could potentially set up an alarm or anything.
Doesn't work. Yeah. And he just shoots it. Even though he could walk around it. Like, look! The whole thing is open! It's unnecessary. It's
You're also not going
to...
If you don't shoot it, you're also not going to leave traces.
This is like one of those, you guys know the things that go up and down to block cars, it's like in the train track kind of things. It's meant to stop vehicles specifically. It's not really meant to stop people. And even then, I think you can break through some of those things.
And then, so a little bit of context: they were trying to get on this planet so that somebody could escort them out via the Jedi Underground Railroad. She's played by Ilaria Sand from Game of Thrones. Fine. Indira Varma's a good actress. And yeah, Obi-Wan does in fact use a mole as a meat shield at one point in the fight. It's annoying.
Yeah, that's very fun that Obi-Wan would do that.
It's like that would be like a moral challenge for him.
There's some boring stuff about. And she somehow like gets him to a safe house, but then we get.
But is this the one with like the Jedi Code graffiti? Is this a safe house with the Jedi graffiti coding? That's really stupid. Because if that's a specific Jedi
it's kind of
language, like Jedi code language, then the Inquisitors are going to find it. It's really not safe to use.
Yeah, don't let them carve anything. And then just Vader shows up.
Of course Vader shows up because they had to have Vader show up because they absolutely needed fans to lose their minds over Vader meeting Kenobi again.
Yep.
So,
and he just casually kills a bunch of civilians, doesn't even say, Kenobi, come out or else keep killing them. He just kills a few of them and then just walks around and then just appears in front of Kenobi. Obi out of nowhere.
So, I have something to say about this. So, in A New Hope, Vader says, I have been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. We meet again at last. And before that, he says, I sense a presence I haven't felt since. Now, with the prequels, it is implied that this event is their encounter on Mustafar. There are a lot of things in the originals that are undercut by the prequels, but I would say that that particular encounter actually strengthens this dialogue because there is a lot there. It adds a lot of weight to these two lines if that was their last encounter, and Anakin's anger and hatred and bitterness has been allowed to seethe and fester for 20 years.
There's actually another line, though. Last time we met, you were the teacher. Now I am the master, or something around that line.
No, it was, when I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master.
Yeah. So, this should never be happening.
No. And funnily enough, people are trying to excuse it with a line in Return of the Jedi, saying, Obi-Wan once thought as you do, to Luke. But the thing is, people completely cut out the context around that scene. So,
even without context, it makes no sense.
I don't remember the exact wording there, but I'm pretty sure Luke says, I know there is good in you, the Emperor hasn't driven it from you fully. And Vader replies, Obi-Wan once thought as you do. And people take that as an implication that they met between episodes 3 and 4. And Obi-Wan tried to bring him back with the same reasoning as Luke. The problem is, that line doesn't actually explicitly say that. So, what Luke is doing here is saying, yeah, I have faith in you, that you are a good man. So what Vader is essentially saying, Obi-Wan once thought I was a good man too. His faith was misplaced, and so is yours. So it's like you can't use this line to say, yeah, they met. It completely undermines the drama of episode 4 and them meeting again after 20 years.
Yeah. I do think that most of the
And also,
dialogue
this encounter here actively contradicts the line in episode 4. Because in episode 4, it is implied that, yes, Obi-Wan bested him, more or less, and that's the reasoning behind the before I was a student, now I am the master. In this, he just kicks his ass.
Yeah, they're probably going to have another fight again. But he just runs off.
Which is going to make it even worse.
Yeah.
By the way, this is not James Earl Jones talking, by the way. This is a synthesized voice. Same as they did with Luke in Book of Boba.
That is actually kind of impressive.
Yeah, I think it's more... It's easier to miss, because Vader has more of a modulated voice.
Yeah.
So you can kind of filter over it and say, oh, it's the respirator breath mask that causes his voice to go like that.
Which I think that, and it works okay. I think that's fine. And I didn't even notice. And also, like, here's the thing. Oh, James Earl Jones, when he did Rogue One, his voice kind of makes him feel really old. Like, the poor guy really has... Like, you can hear his age in his voice.
Yeah, I think he was fine in Rogue One. I think he was pretty terrible in the Lion King remake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that one was bad. He was it was like, oh, man. You got him back and he just sounds terrible. Terrible.
I just think it's very funny because in his very first scene, they play a rejected take from the '94 film instead of an actual take he did in 2018.
Yeah.
Also, apparently the actor who was in the suit playing Vader in this scene had an absolutely horrible time.
Really? It
Yeah.
wasn't Hayden Christensen, right? It was somebody else?
No, it was some Ukrainian guy.
Oh, okay.
Like, apparently he kept getting called back for reshoots and they refused to pay him what he was owed, or something like that.
Yeah, because Disney's an evil company and they're pieces of garbage.
Yeah.
Fucking rich can't bother to pay their dues. I wrote him out, just like, fuck no, they're not paying me.
Yeah, he walked away. He does not want to work with Disney ever again, apparently.
Smart man.
Good on him, I agree with you, mate. You have my respect.
Like, it's so painful that he doesn't even want to watch this show.
Yeah. This is such a pathetic midpoint. Like, I like the lines.
It's a pathetic midpoint in a pathetic show made by a pathetic corporation.
Yeah. I do like a lot of Vader's dialogue. Vader's dialogue is mostly fine, at least when he's talking with Kenobi, but the fact that he is having this conversation at all is dumb.
Also, I've noticed a lot of people referencing how the hell did he and Reva get in front of Obi-Wan and Leia.
Yeah.
Pulling the meme from the Emperor's New Groove. How did we get here before them? I don't know. By all accounts, it doesn't make any sense. See, that worked in that movie because they played it for comedy.
And it's like,
it didn't change the plot. This does.
Yeah. And, like, she just abandons Leia, this, like, tiny, whiny 10-year-old. Reva just walks around and finds it. Then we get the fight between Obi-Wan and Vader just completely wrecks Obi-Wan. One-handed. Oh, okay. Not moving really fast, surprisingly. Huh.
That was a weirdly delayed reaction, by the way.
Yeah. The years have made you weak. Okay. And they have to have Obi-Wan be saved. And wow, that's...
If they wanted Obi-Wan to be saved, don't pull Vader in the first place. Just have him fight some Inquisitors and get away. Because the Inquisitors are supposed to be low level.
Man. Like...
Here's the thing. I thought... So, after watching episode 1, I was like, okay, the Wet Bandits and the whole Leia plotline is stupid, but I think you can maybe still recover from this. Episodes 2, and especially episode 3, no, you cannot recover from this. You are halfway through, you have done unrecoverable damage to the sword.
Yeah.
This show is a disaster. It's an unmitigated disaster.
Yep.
You should have killed me when you had the chance. Most generic dialogue ever.
Yeah. It pulls it down, and he just punks Obi-Wan and starts choking him. Okay. Yeah.
By the way, I just want to make note.
I'm now looking forward to
now
this
you will die, Obi-Wan. Like he's trying to kill him.
I think he actually said, "Now you will suffer." Yeah, by burning as Obi-Wan burned him, and now you will suffer. And he's going to start dragging him through fire, and he isn't burning, and he only gets like some burns on his arm. He should be engulfed in flames.
Yeah,
like I can believe that he doesn't combust to the flames, but all of his clothes should be on fire after this.
Yep. He did.
Yeah, I don't
This is
think
a
he
point
should
where-
combust, but his clothes his clothes are barely damaged.
Even the clothes are plot armor in this stupid show.
Yep. Like I only saw this a few hours ago. Actually, we watched it. Yeah, we watched this only a few hours ago, done.
Yeah.
And yet it's still befuddling.
I know.
It's like, remember when Anakin was just like close to the lava on Mustafar, and he was engulfed in flames in a few seconds.
Like, look, that's all the damage that's done to his arm.
By the way, Vader just lets him escape.
Yeah. He just uses the force to push him away from them.
Not impressed.
Oh, we just joined. Well. Yeah.
You know, as much as I don't like the Snyder Cut, at the very least, Superman was somewhat effective in stopping Steppenwolf from attacking Cyborg.
I mean, I think even in the Whedon cut, sorry, I said Sweden. God damn it.
Sweden cut.
Yeah, so even in the Whedon cut, he was still pretty effective, and actually he was more like Superman than in the Snyder cut.
Yeah.
Again,
Funnily
I'm sorry,
enough, I will
sorry,
say,
Henry Cavill. You did
will
not
say,
deserve
yeah.
that horror done to you.
He deserved way better than either of those two movies. But I will say, I like Truth, but I'm also a big fan of Justice. Like, unironically, I kind of like it. It's so cheesy and corny, but I love it.
It's exactly what he would have said. You know?
And then he, like, the damage to Obi-Wan's arm is pathetic.
Yeah, it's like it's not even a burn. You wouldn't even know that he was inside of some flames a few
By the way,
minutes
so
ago.
Ilaria, I'm just going to call her Ilaria. Ilaria shoots a panel, and there's an explosion, and Vader can't pursue them for some reason.
And it
I
causes
know he can.
an inferno. Yeah.
I know he can hover using the Force. That was a mechanic in Battlefront 2, the old video game. You could just hover over that.
Even if he can't hover in
He
the
can
show, it's like he can leap. He can do
saw
like
it
a
in the
Great
great
distances,
like
too.
as an Empire.
Yeah, we saw it in Empire, yeah. He just jumped over the intervening distance. He can just jump over that flame or use force push to extinguish it like he did 5 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Literally,
Damn, I didn't even consider that.
Just push the flames away and lift the ground to create an opening. It's that easy. You want Obi-Wan to suffer and die, so go and kill him, you idiot.
Actually, here's the best part. Obi-Wan is still there, and Anakin can definitely still sense him. So you're gonna be like, "Oh, why? Thank you very much for igniting all that for me. I'm gonna pull him over into here."
Or
Because those flames are even
him,
bigger.
because he can
Those
still
flames are
do
bigger than
that.
before. Yeah, those flames are bigger than they were from before. So if he was to use the Force on Obi-Wan and pull him into those flames right now, he would definitely be fucked.
And then it just ends with somehow Reva has gotten ahead of Leia at the end of the tunnel, the super secret tunnel, after only seeing the entrance.
Hold on.
That's not how tunnels work.
Exactly. She made it
That's
over to the
not
end of
how
the tunnel
tunnels
before
work.
Leia did. And, like, the only way that's possible is if she ran past Leia, because it's a fucking tunnel. This makes no sense. She just teleported over there.
This whole show is stupid.
Yeah,
Then
this is
again,
terrible.
Stupid.
I guess
And
everybody who's on the dark side can
We
just
covered
randomly
like 3
teleport
hours
around.
worth of TV in 2 hours. Yeah. But like so little happens in this. Like usually
Yes.
like 3 hours would be fairly dense with material, but there's so much that we can just skip over. Like Obi-Wan just wandering the countryside of this backwater mining planet with Leia. Oh, the talk with Ilaria Sand. And just the Jedi Underground Railroad, the politicking
The
between
Jedi
third sister
Underground
and
Railroad is
brother.
not a terrible idea inherently.
It's a
but
great idea,
it's
actually.
so poorly done in this show.
It is really poorly done. Also we've seen link activity before. I don't see how this is affected. Hang on. Yeah, good question. Good thing.
We
And
also
they're just
know
really-
that she's gonna get out of this pretty much unscathed.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem with this show. The stakes. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there aren't any.
I would not call that the biggest problem.
That's one
Okay,
big
it is-
problem with it.
yeah. This is the conceptual problem with this show. On a very conceptual level, this show does not work because we already know how all this shit ends. We already know that Leia and Obi-Wan survive. We already know that Vader survives. Like, we have no stakes for our main protagonists at all, or even the big bad villain, because we already know what happens to them. And yet they want us to believe that these characters are in any real danger, while we already know that they survive.
The endings that we know about also make less sense knowing the events of this show.
Yeah.
There's also been stuff in the marketing that says we're going to give you guys the rematch of the century, Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it's like
Round one.
It's like
Pathetic.
it is one of those things where a Kenobi miniseries, when you have something that needs to eventually go back to a status quo, you mostly want to focus on character, not stakes, because with the stakes, you know how things are gonna turn out. Character work can still happen.
This is the problem with midquels in general. Midquels, if you have characters that are inside of an established narrative in the middle, there is very little you can do with it. It's why the Beauty and the Beast, the Beauty and the Beast sequels that are just midquels are so awful because they cannot progress the characters very much, and it just screws with the original movie. It is so frustrating.
There's a Beauty and the Beast sequel.
Yes, Beauty and the
Jesus
Beast being granted into Christmas, where the Beast is basically the Grinch because he got turned into the Beast on Christmas.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, whatever.
So Obi-Wan Kenobi, the TV show, was basically the only thing that I had really any hope for after the sequel trilogy started turning to shit.
I did.
Von Mostre, I'm gonna say this right now. I watched The Mandalorian. I'm sorry, not The Mandalorian, The Blandalorian, and I watched the book. Yeah, I watched the book of Babu Fett, and I can tell you right now, going into Obi-Wan Kenobi, I had zero hope or zero expectations or any of that shit. I was scared, terrified, and I was thinking, oh boy, this could be horrible. This could be disastrous. And I watched the first episode. Like,
let's call it hoping against hope. Should we call it that?
Yeah.
So yes. I was hoping that there was a chance that this show could be better than the complete embarrassment that was the Book of Boba.
Yeah.
And I think that it had the chance to do so conceptually. Because this is... Can you let me finish, actually?
I'm sorry.
I probably not get so aggressive about it, but I've been interrupted like 7 times in the stream alone.
Yeah, I'm sorry about the back.
I think that conceptually, a show about Obi-Wan Kenobi halfway into his exile on Tatooine can be great. Because what you would want to do is create a low-stakes, character-focused story. It's just about Obi-Wan coming to terms with the events of the prequels and somewhat molding him into more of the Ben Kenobi that we see in the original trilogy.
Yeah.
The way you can do that is to have him reflect on the Clone Wars and his friendship with Anakin and his relationship with Qui-Gon and do a little bit of damage control for the prequel trilogy by having him meeting Bail and interacting more with Bail earlier. Having way more flashbacks going over his relationship with Qui-Gon and his relationship with Anakin going on, like, actually, here's a slightly radical idea. Because of his guilt, instead of just doing flashbacks that replay the prequel trilogy, have flashbacks, but because of his guilt, they are distorted so they look worse from his perspective, which makes him feel worse about it. Instead of... you can also do, say, mystical telepathic vision quests or whatever as he trains to try to contact Qui-Gon. Instead of pulling in Vader for this stupid, pathetic retcon of a fight scene, you can have sort of a nightmarish, illusionary vision of Anakin as essentially the main antagonist. And you can start out, since Hayden Christensen is older now, you can just have this start off with him, like, Obi-Wan just has a vision of him showing up on Tatooine and sitting down next to him on a campfire or something, and they talk. And then, as the series progresses, Anakin, well, this fictional Anakin, starts to morph more and more into Darth Vader. And it starts off very slowly. Like first it's just like the older, this is the ideal of what Anakin could have been. Then you see like, oh, he has gloves just like Vader's. And then over the course of the series, they just add more elements, like the control panel or the boots, or he has a different cape. And over time, the armor just sort of morphs around him like a symbiote. And eventually you get to the full-on Darth Vader. And this is where Obi-Wan has to come to terms with the reality that this is Anakin now. And then you could have sort of a Vision Quest battle between these two. And Obi-Wan is ultimately able to, quote-unquote, win. Not win physically, but he gets over it, essentially. And that's sort of the point where he realizes, okay, it's all about Luke. I need to do everything for Luke.
Yeah.
Instead, we get this stupid planet hopping plot with Leia, which shouldn't happen. Shouldn't happen with Leia. Shouldn't happen with Luke. Shouldn't happen with anybody. It just screws up the entire original trilogy to have it happen. It makes every character involved really, really stupid to fit in with whatever fanfic payoff that the writers want. And apparently nobody, not Kathleen Kennedy, not Deborah Chow, Joby Harold, Hossein Amini, Stuart Piatti, Hannah Friedman, Andrew Stanton, Ewan McGregor, absolutely nobody who worked on this show decided, okay, I'm gonna take a look at A New Hope and see what the dialogue implies and try to work with that. Nobody cared. No one. No one. Not the director, not the producers, not the staff writers, not the main writers. Nobody cared.
Yep. It's just dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This show is terrible because nobody cared.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Nobody cared to make a good product, and now apparently the fan base at large does not care if the story is good or not.
Yeah. I was trying to remember what I wanted to say earlier. Completely forgot it now.
No worries.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, in the show, Obi-Wan has these like very prequel-esque sleeping fits. Like he's having nightmares about Anakin and the events of the prequels. Like people laughed in the theater when Anakin was doing that in Attack of the Clones because it is really dumb. It was like there were so many more interesting ways you could do that. Just have him sit by a fire at night and he's sort of dozing off, and suddenly he sees Anakin's burned robotic hand coming towards him out of the fire, and he's startled, and that wakes him up. And he only then realizes that he fell asleep.
Yeah.
that would be good.
Like, there was so... Even this premise, even the premise that they are running with, there are so many more interesting ways to do it. But they keep going with the laziest approach possible, because no talent or skill or craft is required, either to get the show past the producers or for the fans to accept it and applaud it as the greatest thing ever made.
And it's frustrating.
I'm pretty sure you could legitimately take the giant Triceratops shit from Jurassic Park and slap the Star Wars logo on it, and people would praise it unironically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Let's see. Was something. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on what was.
It's so annoying. I'm legit pissed at this show. I'm now looking forward to watching, to reading through the Lord of the Rings John Borman script after this.
Okay.
Like at least you can laugh at that.
With Sauron, with a interpretive dance version of the story of the ring, with Sauron as a combination of Punch and Judy fame and Mick Jagger. I am not kidding.
Yeah, I know. I was there. I think I read that description.
Yep. We haven't even gotten to the weird bits.
You guys are watching The Rings of Power?
No,
that hasn't
we're
come
reading
out
a
yet.
script from the 70s that was going to be made into a movie, and it includes I've read the worst bits of the script. Like, just how I found out about it was just this guy put out the worst bits of the script as an image, and I was just, is this publicly available? It is publicly available. Oh my gosh.
Oh no. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I think I was going to rant on about how. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. My brain is fried at this point of time. Like, we've just been through this. It's just taken a lot of stupidity and BS for one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show's bad.
Yeah.
I think, like, I just have. You know what? I just remembered what I was going to say. Why am I still watching this? Why are any of us still watching this?
Professional obligation.
Like,
Yeah.
we should. Yeah.
Like, here's the thing. The concept of a Kenobi miniseries is not bad until you realize who's making it, and that they're not going to actually care to make a nice small series where we get to see him go through some small stuff. Things that would greatly affect his character and be very interesting to see as a part of the world. No, they're going to make a spectacle, they're going to bring stakes, they're going to do a bunch of shit, and they're going to fuck it up and fuck everything else up along with it because they can't bother to find a way to fit it in. Because they can't. They can't fit in what they want in this place. It is impossible because to do so contradicts everything. It just won't work.
Yeah. Like, I'm just, like, I remember watching Multiverse of Madness a few weeks ago.
Oh my god.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember watching Book of Boba Fett, and I remember watching this. I'm thinking to myself, why are we watching this again? We know it's bad. We know it's horrible. And I know how I'm going to feel by the end of it. I'm going to feel depressed or even angry. But we're watching it anyway. We already know who's making it. We already have our bar set. We know what to expect from them.
But we'll see. It could have been
funny
really
thing is,
fucking
I don't
funny.
But
I think this show is going to be what breaks me if it haven't already. Like, most likely I will not watch any more of this franchise as released by Disney. Most likely not. I don't think.
Honestly, I've kind of left the wagon a long time ago. I only see some coverage and that's it. I just don't waste my time with it anymore because it's like, unless I'm seeing it with people or seeing other people react to it, it's not worth it. It just isn't. The worth of the show is not from the show. It is from other people.
It's just like the CW. The only worth you get out of it is by people reacting to it and mocking it.
Yep.
Yeah. I honestly, just occasionally tune into this, mainly because I'm just I'm so done with this garbage. I'm so frustrated. like this was kind of. I think this is like, I didn't tune into Book of Boba Fett. I didn't watch Bad Batch. I binged Mandalorian and didn't talk about it other than it sucks. I just
You know what?
the only reason why I watched this is because like I'm just like, okay, Kenobi and Vader. I'm like, I like these two characters, even though like the prequels did quite a bit of damage to at least Vader. But this is kind of just okay. Do you guys want me to cover this? And the audience, 18-5, said, "Yep, cover it."
Well, I think it's
Oh.
like people get, like people including myself, who did vote for you to cover it,
Yeah,
get a level of like morbid satisfaction from tearing this kind of bullshit apart,
yeah,
especially when they're surrounded by people who eat it up uncritically.
yeah.
Well,
And it's just kind of the dilemma of, do you watch the crap? Because at that point they just have their money. They have your money. You can laugh all the way to the bank.
you know what?
Well, the thing is, I'm not watching it on my own Disney Plus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm not even watching on mine. I'm just borrowing my sister's because my sister is a Disney Plus fan.
Unfortunately.
It's
Yeah.
always. It's
my
always.
like my dad arranged like a family deal or family subscription on Disney Plus. I'm not even using it.
Becca, I expect an apology from you on behalf of all women for always having the women be the ones to defend this shit. It's always.
Mate,
always-
mate. Come on.
Wait,
It's
what the
not
fuck?
just-
Wait, what just happened?
It's not just them. You know it.
Yeah,
Hell,
I know.
most of them probably don't
I
even
know.
watch the shit unless it's for. Like, my sister has it because of her boyfriend. I'm not sure if she would watch the shit if not for him.
No, because Dunn, I'm in a very similar boat to you. Like, my sister loves this shit. She watches it and she uncritically defends this shit too. And I get really freaking frustrated over this crap. Like, holy crap! I've got nothing. I cannot conjure the words to describe just exactly how I feel about this. Outside of angry.
There's also the issue that my sisters love Disney Plus, and they're just like, "Hey, have you seen it? Have you seen it? Have you seen it?" And I'm just
Oh
like,
my god, that's the worst.
and it's just like, I don't really want to, but I at least somewhat want to talk. And he's like, "You should. It's so good." And then I watched Moon Knight, and I'm just like, "This is not very good. I don't really like this."
Yeah,
It's
you know what?
just fucking insanely stupid.
You know what's even funny? You guys speak of them trying to do. They should do low stakes stuff. You know, focus on characters. They can't do that. We know this by now. They are just simply incapable of doing low stakes character focused stuff because they don't even know what a character is. And Moon Knight is proof of this. Moon Knight could have been a really great story featuring Oscar Isaac portraying this guy who has this disorder, and we
DID,
could,
kinda.
yeah, he has DID, and we could be watching him trying to grapple with all this stuff. It could have been really nice and really good, but instead we need a freaking kaiju fight at the end of the series because we gotta crank it up every goddamned time.
So, my sister doesn't like. She's not a fan of the MCU or Star Wars. She watches it occasionally, and if I ever start complaining about it, she will normally just be like, "It's dumb. Magic doesn't need to make sense." Blah blah blah. The normal consumer shit. But but outside of that, she can be pretty terrible because she has defended Corella and thought it's good and interesting. Like, isn't it a good, interesting way to take the character? And I'm like, no, it was shit. It was absolute dog shit. And I know exactly why she likes it. Because female protagonist. That's it. Her priorities are fucked. I'm only just happy that her boyfriend was like, nah.
Yeah.
It was like the one base thing he ever said.
Alright. Well, my mouth is currently dry and scratchy from all this because, goddamn, it's tiring.
Was the fight scene good at least between Obi and Vady?
No, it wasn't. Just set
was
your
not
bar
good.
to the floor.
Done. Chad's like done a Night's Watch on the Obi-Wan episodes, right? Has he gotten to the fight yet?
He is.
Yes.
He has
So
gotten to
the thing
episode
about
3.
it is that we need to watch I'm thinking that we need to try to watch these episodes earlier in the week. The reason for that is because the episode comes out on Wednesday, and everybody's coverage comes out on that same day.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, this week or this Wednesday, I will be gone. Sister's graduation and all.
I'm not even sure if I want to keep watching anymore. Like, I'm depressed.
I will probably watch to the end, if only for professional obligation.
You guys legit reminded me of me yesterday, because me and my friends just finished Angel Season 5, and we were just really depressed with the finale because it was shit. That's what you guys remind me of right now.
I think I've said my piece. I need to go to sleep.
I need to take a nap too.
Yeah.
I'm feeling really
It's 1:40 a.m. over here.
Sorry about that.
Timers.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll see you all another time.
Alright,
All right.
later.
See you guys later.
When it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have. And people are going to be upset because, especially when you're talking about books or games, I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.